So we're so grateful to get to have the best of the best here with us tonight to share. And in fact, a lot of the speakers who will be sharing are just some of the top people. And we're just so blessed to have them right here with us to share tonight. So take it away, Natalie and Andy Goddard.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
Yes, we are so happy to be with you all tonight, wherever you are.
It's a treat. And we'd love to hear, if you want to post in the comments, where are you joining us from? I'm seeing a lot of cool names from all over the place. So post in the chat box. And if you could, post your comments to everyone, not just to the admin. Awesome. So we've got folks from Wisconsin, Wyoming,
Idaho, Canada.
Awesome. Argentina. Wow, two from Argentina. Kansas, Midway, Brigham City, Michigan. Love it.
So happy you're with us from wherever you are. And what we wanted to share tonight, we know your time is precious, and we're so grateful that you chose to be here with us. We just believe that you were born to create.
Yep. And we also believe that doTERRA happens to be the very best vehicle and playground to learn to create in, whether you're looking to create health, whether you're looking to create income, or even to create leadership. We truly believe that doTERRA is just this incredible playground. And so, how
many of you are feeling like the craziness that our world is in right now, right? There's a little bit of upheaval. That's a reality right now in our world. And it really reminds us of back in 2008 when we came first in contact with doTERRA. We had always dreamed of getting out of the rat race, of being free, of really serving and helping people in a significant way. And we had tried all of these other things to be able to do that. You know, we made this website and that website and started this business and that business, and yet we just hadn't tapped into using our gifts and strengths in a way that was meaningful to provide for our family and to make a difference in the world and help us feel like we were really like dialing into where we should be and how we could make a difference.
So should we start with our story?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen here. And can you guys see my screen? Okay, so let's just make that a little bigger. Okay, so where to? No, sorry, there's. Okay, so we believe that each of us is born to create, and I was blessed enough to be raised by parents who had the same belief. And so they spent a lot of their time fixing up homes and adding beauty. This is a picture of one of the bedrooms that I grew up in, and they turned it into this, a Western town. They just loved creation, and they helped me develop my gifts. They saw that I loved art, and so they helped me develop that gift. And so that's what I studied in high school and college. Then Natalie and I met some friends who were invited us over to play a game called Cash Flow. And this game was developed by Richard Kiyosaki. And the whole idea is to create enough residual income to pay for your living expenses. And this is a whole new concept for me. Back in the day, I was working at home as a graphic designer. I had my own design agencies, and I would create a lot of websites like this one for nonprofits, and I would wish and dream that I could do the cool expeditions that they did, but I didn't see that as a possibility with us and our family, because we were stuck. We were stuck in this rat race where I traded hours for dollars, and I never saw it as a possibility.
And this is kind of where we found ourselves in 2008 when we literally were driving down the street, felt like we should talk to women, and discovered doTERRA through that process. And once we were introduced to the oils, like, they were just different. We had some really impactful experiences with them. Like, I remember the first time I smelled peppermint. So if you have your oils there with you, just grab your peppermint and take a big whiff. If you have a sample to experience it, take out an oil and breathe that in. We took that peppermint, I smelled it. I had used 5 other lines of essential oils. I was a holistic health coach at the time, and I felt like in that moment, I had never experienced another essential oil before. It was incredible. And then they passed around the frankincense. And in that moment, I just felt like I was to pay attention. Pay attention. It was so clear to me. We used those oils. I listened that night, and we just began to experience a lot of incredible benefits from using those oils. And I could feel the difference that power made in our home. And it was so sweet to see how quickly I felt that. I had used the oils for emotional work before then, and for a lot of emotional release or just helping people be happier, but not a lot for physical ailments and issues. And we started seeing incredible relief with physical issues. And I remember not too many nights after we had the oils in our home and the doTERRA at our fingertips like that, just turning over to Andy and saying, hey, we are the richest people in the whole world to have access to these oils at our fingertips. And we were definitely not the richest people in the whole world from our bank account standpoint, but in that moment, I knew the reality of what value was just right there in our hands. And that was really powerful to me. A few days later, I was doing yoga and entered Shavasana. At the very end, I was feeling all peaceful, just ready for a great day. And all of a sudden, I started feeling like, just clearly, you need to share this with Tana. You need to share this with Laura Jacobs. You need to do this. And all of a sudden, I just, as quickly as that came, I just responded with, wow, I don't do network marketing. I knew that I had these incredible oils in my hands and I wanted to share those oils. And I never understood network marketing. I had always looked down on network marketing. And in that moment, just things were not gelling for me. I did not know how to live that. But immediately there was a quick response that I wanted this for you, but I can give it to someone else. So in that moment, in 2008, when we were in the middle of just trying to figure out how to take care of our family, trying to figure out where we were to use our gifts, it was just so clear to me that, hey, if this is the path that I was to go on, if I would just trust that process and jump in sharing these incredible gifts that I knew how valuable they were, that maybe this could work out for us. And so that's what we did ever since that moment. And we literally had our first class just out in our crazy free front yard here. And first class, 2 people came. Second class, no one came at all. And we just remained determined that we were going to share these powerful gifts of the earth. That if we felt this rich, that we really wanted to help other people have those same true riches in their world and in their life. So we just kept sharing. Sometimes it was 1 person, sometimes 2, sometimes 6. you know, but it was just, we stayed committed and consistent to that. And a lot of the times it looked like this, right? It looked like me holding a baby and talking on the phone at the same time. And I loved that I could share something so meaningful that could help other people so much, but I could do that while taking care of my family. And we noticed that we started coming together in new and better ways as we got creative at partnering together in doTERRA and creating more than we could ever create individually. So it took a few months of just that consistent behavior. I remember after about 6 months, I was like, wow, is this really working? Like, I don't know if this is gonna work. And we spoke with one of the owners and he just talked about how residual income is real and you get to do some work to get to that residual income. And it was really helpful for us to keep that perspective and keep committed, because what started out as, you know, our first check of $16 then became, you know, $300 and then $600 and then $800. And then this is the day that my check passed up Andy's. And, you know, as you can see, I'm like 7 months pregnant, about ready to have another baby. And I am so grateful that, that at that point, he really started to take the opportunity seriously. And at that point, he'd had some amazing experiences with the oils to see how well they were working and that it was the real deal.
Yeah, so about 10 months in is when Natalie said, hey, I would love to have you join me here. There's a lot to do. And at first I didn't see myself in it. I thought, you know, it was mostly women just running around healing each other. And I couldn't see myself, you know, sharing passionately about these little brown bottles. But then I started having experiences with the oils and that changed pretty quickly. I still remember one night Natalie was out teaching a class and our 4-year-old jumped up on the counter to get a drink out of the water, out of the sink. And, you know, you don't get a cup of water, you lean on the faucet when you're 4 years old and just drink straight out of the faucet. Well, as he's doing this, leaning on the faucet with all of his weight, it breaks off and he falls forward and hits his head on the stub of metal left. So what normally would have been like a big goose egg and messy and bloody, I remember Natalie saying helichrysum is amazing for stopping blood flow and for taking down swelling. So I ran out the helichrysum, I put lavender on first, and after 5 or 6 applications, there was 0 swelling, no bleeding, and I was a believer.
He was just happy because he wasn't going to get in trouble when I came home, right? So it was awesome.
Yep.
That through that process, you know, like he had his own experiences and he was just converted to the oils and what they could do. So, and then when my check caught up with his, he was a little more converted to the opportunity. So we kept sharing and our team grew. We grew from just a few people to that was like one of maybe our second convention. Mm-hmm. And then we began to raise other leaders on our team. And we have loved this process of not just empowering families so they have other solutions. Like times like this, how useful is it? Boy, so needed, right? And yet we knew that people needed income and opportunity and ways to develop their leadership so that they could become leaders, right? In the interim, our little people, we also grew our family. So we added 2 more children. doTERRA created this space for us to be able to do that. And as our family grew, our doTERRA family just continued to grow. We kept growing diamonds and we believed in this vision from our mentor, and now our doTERRA partner, Laura Jacobs, she talked about a healer in every home. And this vision of what if we could empower every home? What if right now, instead of dealing with fear in so many homes around the world, what if there was a real healer in every home that was empowered, that had little bottles at their fingertips so that they could draw on those little bottles when they needed them, and that pure plant power so they could shift outcomes in their home, whether that was a discouraged child or whether it was a pandemic, whatever the situation may be. And she spoke of this vision, and it was crazy enough, like we were crazy enough to actually believe in the reality of that. And this vision of a healer in every home has taken us around the world. And now our reach is actually 1.4 million homes around the world. It's just growing and growing. And it's been sweet, even during this pandemic, to see the impact, right? And
we just crossed 500 diamonds too.
500 diamonds in the US and Canada and around the world. So family continued to grow, and we continued to experience lots and lots of joy and meaning from doTERRA helping us to reach those crazy dreams that we had. And it's been sweet as well to see how doTERRA has helped so many other people's dreams come true. What I love is when we have a real product that changes people, that really helps people, that really blesses people, then, then we have a powerful foundation to work from. Then we can have an opportunity with that, and it's real and it's authentic because we have a real product that changes lives. And we've seen that impact. These are just a few of the images from our dear friends that we'll introduce in a few minutes. But over the last year in Brazil, this is some of the widespread good that has happened. And you can kind of feel it on their faces and see it in their eyes, the meaning and the making a difference that's happening there. And we have just been so grateful to be a part of this journey. And we're so grateful tonight that you can get a little vision. We invite you to turn off your phones, check into this moment, be present in this moment, and try doTERRA on. What could it do for you? Let me take off screen sharing. What could it do for you in your world? For us back in 2008, I believe it was a very similar economy to where we find ourselves right now in this moment. Lots and lots of need and lots of opportunity. The only thing that I feel like is really significantly different than maybe in 2008 is a lot of people are awake. A lot of people are awake in this moment to our needs, to health needs, to the reality of taking care of our bodies, minds, and spirits in a powerful way. And that no matter what choices are made in the world around us, that is something that we get to own. And then also just one of the things that I'm seeing is people understanding more than ever this need for community. And for us, like, we didn't think we needed community. Like, we're both introverts. Like, we were cheering when this all happened. We're like, this is amazing. Whoever thought of a quarantine? It's a great idea. We should try it on. But we never knew we would thrive in a community. But we have found a family in doTERRA. We have found a family of people that value health, that value wholeness, that are in this constant journey to get back to health and wholeness. on every level, right? Body, mind, and spirit, and how powerful we can be as we come together as that community in doing that. And the doors that we can unlock in our own lives, and the doors that we can inspire people to unlock in theirs. And that to me has been so, so powerful. And sometimes you got to lose your community to realize how much you need it. So I hope that you are feeling that clearly as well right now. So there is an awakening for health and wellness, an awakening for the need of community, an awakening for the need of leaders in our world. And we just invite you to be a part of this movement with us. There has never been a time that leaders were more needed in the world. We are dealers of hope, right? We sell hope. Health and hope is what we sell. And this opportunity is real because that health and hope is real.
So Natalie and I, you know, what we do is we train people to live a wellness lifestyle, to share that wellness lifestyle with others, and to create a thriving doTERRA business. But raising leaders and raising the vibration of the planet is who we are.
Mm-hmm. So we invite you to join us and raise up yourself as a leader. Choose in. When we first connected to doTERRA, we had no idea all that was possible. We thought we were like living the high life, and we knew most everything, right? And there was so much more possibility that we had no idea was even there. And so we just invite you to try on doTERRA tonight. See where doTERRA could take you. And we didn't feel like, honestly, right? We were totally maxed out. I was homeschooling 4 kids at the time. Andy was working from home 60 to 80 hours a week on a good week. Mm-hmm. And we didn't have any space in our world. But I'm so grateful that we created this space. And there's no better time than right now for you to create this space, because you're meant to lead. And we're so excited. We hope that, Ange first, that you choose in and can try on some of what we're going to share with you tonight. We've got some incredible people to share with you. First, I want to hear from Shannon, from Angela Davidson. She's one of our key partners, and I'm so excited to have you here with us, Ange.
Are you on, Ange?
There you go.
There I am. Hi.
Hey.
I am just down the street from Andy and Natalie, so that's kind of fun. I love doTERRA. I have been using the doTERRA products for about 10 years, and I did not love multi-level marketing at all. And it wasn't for me and my friends who sold doTERRA. I cheered them on because I love them and I saw all the good that they were doing. And I finally had a little change of heart and decided that I wanted in on all the fun, and I wanted in on what they were doing. And I am so grateful that I'm a part of this now. And one thing that I've shared with Natalie before is I told her I thought we were going to be business partners. And I used to have a job where I worked with Natalie and Andy. And I knew them for a while. And so it wasn't like a weird thing for us to work together. And so I thought we were just kind of like shifting how we were going to be working together. And I told Natalie one day after I'd been building doTERRA for a few years, I said, you forgot to tell me that we weren't just going to be business partners. You forgot to tell me that this was going to change my life, which I thought was really awesome before I started doTERRA. You forgot to tell me that I was going to get to be connected with all these amazing people. You forgot to tell me, and she probably did tell me, I probably just wasn't listening, right? But I didn't know that I was going to get to up level my health, right? And my wellness and my emotional health, and like all the things in my life have gotten better. And I thought they were really great to start with. And I don't know what jobs a lot of you have right now, what your profession is. I will just boldly say that I feel like there's almost any job in the world I could do. I have been very blessed to have an amazing and successful career and have been able to work in so many different fields. And before this, I used to be a fundraising director. I've been a business analyst and traveled the world for clients, helping them up level their business. And out of any job I could have in the entire world, this is what I choose to do. I choose to share doTERRA, and I could not be happier. And I'm a single mom, so it's not even like someone's just paying for me to be afloat and I'm choosing to do this for fun. I do it as a business, and I do it because I love it. And I wanted to share a quote, but I'm afraid if I switch to the switch, it will turn off. So I'll just paraphrase it. But one of the things that's been on my mind that I've talked to one of our leaders about in the last 24 hours is Marianne Williamson's thought that we are each so powerful, that we have this ability, like Andy and Natalie talked about, to create. And what's so awesome for me about being a part of doTERRA community is that as we step into our light, we are surrounded by other people who are stepping into their light. And some of them are standing in it very brightly, and they feel really comfortable there, like Andy and Natalie. And that gives us permission to shine our own light. But I love the support, and that no one's against each other. We're all just cheering each other on. I feel like I'm part of a team of have all these cheerleaders and amazing people to work with. And we're so grateful that you're here tonight. And I guess I just invite you, my invitation is for you to be open to listen and to just be asking, what is your part in doTERRA and how can you help inspire healing? Love you, friends.
Thank you so much, Ange. So beautiful. Thanks for bringing your light to our world right here. It's been such an incredible journey. And yes, so much more. A lot of people call doTERRA a personal development company wrapped up in essential oils. So it will change you. It will create so much more in you. We want to transition to Matt and Shantae Hall. And we met this amazing couple when they were like
22, 21.
Yeah, young.
Yep. And they approached us and said, hey, we want to build this business. And at first, I'm going to be honest, we were a little skeptical.
Yep.
A couple of young bucks. We have not seen a lot of 21-year-olds kick it out of the park. But these two people are like some of the grittiest, make it happen people you will ever meet. And when they say they're going to do something, they do it. And they do not quit. They don't care how many times they make mistakes. They just pick themselves up and keep going again. In fact, that's who we were showing in this picture right here. So Matt, he served a 2-year mission in Brazil. And so he started making YouTube videos in Portuguese and specifically going after Brazilian leaders. And he has never quit. And he has now got the biggest team in Brazil. He and Shantae have done the same thing in the US, in Japan, in Italy. They've got this incredible global team. And just last month, they went Presidential Diamond. So we are so excited to welcome you, Matt and Shantae Hall.
Hi.
Hey.
Thanks.
So happy you're here.
Me too. Me too. So you only get me. Shantae's down with the kiddos.
It's all
Nice.
great. You are one, so it's all good.
Yes. Well, thanks for the invite. And, you know, I'll never stop thanking you two for the difference that you've made in our lives, the transformation in every aspect. So for those of you who don't know our story, I'm just here to share a little bit of our journey and hopefully show you what's possible in doTERRA if you just keep going. And if you, you know, if you do the little things. I like to say that the big leaders in doTERRA, they just do the simple things better and more often than those who aren't at those levels yet. So my wife and I got started, and I have this hat to not scare you guys with my new haircut. Oh, I'm like,
Goodness, Matt.
it's been my dream to always see what I would look like bald. And so I'm taking on that adventure while in quarantine. So just give you a little view there. But so we got started in doTERRA because my wife, she was actually living in Taiwan at the time, and somebody sold to her, somebody had the courage to open their mouth and share with her 3 little bottles of essential oil that they felt would help with the anxious feelings and the stress that she was dealing with. And I don't know about you guys, but I would say today, right now in our world, there's never been a time when there's been more anxious feelings and stress. And so the need for the solution that she found is just increasing. And I feel like that means for us who know about doTERRA, even if you haven't signed up yet, that means that our responsibility is just going up and it's increasing every day. So she was in Taiwan. She was struggling with these emotional needs and discovered the essential oils there. Then, you know, had an amazing experience with those 3 oils. When she came back to the United States, she decided that she wanted to be a part of doTERRA. And I was the skeptical husband at first who was kind of like, oh, what are you talking about, oils? And MLM, it was like 2 things that I just had a lot of negative feedback around in the past. And so it took me a minute to get past my skepticism. But honestly, it was when I met the Goddards that she was wise to get me in front of these people. And from the first conversation we had, I realized the impact of good that we could have in the world and the limitless income potential that we could have through this leveraged business model if we were willing to commit ourselves to really impacting and serving a lot of people. And so we were 22 when we got started. Andy got it wrong. We weren't 21. That would be like little babies joining doTERRA. We were 22. But so we got started when we were 22. We were going to college. I always like to kind of share our journey, because our journey is not the story of a couple who was already successful. Like, we're not like the Heathers and the Amys and the Angelas and the Goddards of the world who already had successful businesses. We were literally just college students, and we had no idea what we were doing, but we were passionate, we were excited, and we knew that the oils could impact people's health. And so our journey is one that brings a lot of hope to those who are having a hard time, you know, moving forward or succeeding in their business. We hit elite relatively quickly. Actually, in our first 15 days, we hit the level of elite in the compensation plan. And if you're not familiar with the comp plan, I don't know if you guys have seen that yet, but you'll probably hear about it later. It wasn't hard to convince Shantae to get started because she had already had that amazing experience with the products. So there's a tip right there. For those of you who are wanting to do doTERRA as a business, get people exposed to the products as soon as you possibly can. So yeah, we started at 22. We were going to the local university here, and I like to share kind of our growth so that people can see that you can actually struggle in doTERRA and still reach Presidential Diamond. Like, we hear a lot of stories sometimes of the people who got there the fastest or who, you know, recruited the largest number of people. And our story is one of just kind of persistence and consistency and patience, you know, not a passive patience, but an active patience over the long term. And so we actually grew relatively quickly in the beginning, and we hit elite in our first 15 days in doTERRA. And then we stayed at elite for 10 months. And that wasn't for lack of us trying. We were doing classes every single week, sometimes multiple times a week. We were talking to everybody that we knew. But one of the limiting beliefs that I felt at that time when I was getting started is, hey, we're really young, We don't have a lot of contacts. Like who's gonna want to build a business with a 22-year-old kid and his wife, right? And so I felt like we lacked a little bit of credibility. And the other people that we knew, we were thinking, man, none of them have money. They're all college students. And I learned really quickly in our doTERRA journey that everything that you use as an excuse can actually be your fuel if you flip it. And so instead of saying, you know, we're so young and that's the reason why we can't do this, we chose to say we're young and that's the reason why we should do it, because we have more time. I have more energy than maybe somebody who's 60 or 70. And so that means that I can work harder and I have more time for my results to compound, right? And so I decided to flip it and say, oh, it's not because I'm young that I shouldn't do it. It's because I'm young that I should do it. And, you know, when we were looking at our friends and thinking, wow, none of our friends have any money, we decided to flip it and say, well, if none of our friends have any money, how about we help them get more money through the doTERRA business model? And so everything that you use as your excuse can actually become the reason why and be something that fuels you and helps you achieve your success. And so if you're looking at yourself thinking, well, I'm not amazing like Amy, I'm not amazing like Heather, I'm not amazing like Angela or the Goddards, then for whatever reason that may be, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I don't have this, I don't have that. I promise you, if you just flip it and make that your reason why you choose to do doTERRA, the whole game will change for you. So then we finally broke through the level of elite. After 10 months, we hit Premier. Within 4 months, we had jumped up to Platinum. And then we actually sat at Platinum for a while. So we've had ups and we've had downs, we've had plateaus. Most recently, I guess, to kind of cut to the end of the story, it was seven years and 7 months in that we finally hit Presidential Diamond. And so we're definitely not the fastest story to Presidential Diamond, probably not the longest that's going to happen either, I would think, but it's just been through our consistency and our persistence and reinventing ourselves. Like we've literally everything in doTERRA works. Our product is so good, guys, that I've signed up people handing out flyers around a university campus. We signed up 2 people handing out flyers. Can you believe that? Like we've signed up people through webinars. We've signed up people through online classes. We've signed up people through normal classes. We've signed up people through Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. I signed up one person through LinkedIn that I met on LinkedIn. And I was like, hey, why don't I reach out to this person? We've signed up people doing booths in like fairs. We've signed up people doing everything you can imagine, even like the stupidest strategies that are out there. They work if you just do enough of it. And so really, in my opinion, it all comes down to massive action. Like if you're not getting the results that you want, or you want to see good results in your business, it all comes down to your massive action. Like what are you going to do to get more people exposed to the essential oils? And one last tip that I'll share with you is, even if you feel like you don't have the skills. I remember when I first got started, I heard a presentation from a Presidential Diamond that's in our upline. It's not these 2, but it's somebody who's in our upline. And they talked about how they closed 90% of people who were in their classes. And I was thinking, like, what are you talking about? I'm closing like 10%, if that, like, or 20%. I think 20% was my average. And you know, instead of thinking like, oh, this isn't going to work for me, we just made the decision. And I remember calculating in my head thinking, okay, if I want to outperform this Presidential Diamond, she has an 80% close rate, I have a 20% close rate. If I do 5 times more presentations than her, or if I present to 5 times more people, I'll have a bigger result than her, right? Because if she does 10 classes and signs up 80 people, right? But I do 5 times that, and I do 50 classes, I'll sign up 100 people with a 20% close rate, right? And so then what I found is that as we just worked extremely hard, instead of learning through theory, we learned through practice. We learned through actually action, right? Doing it. And then obviously our percentage, our close rate started to grow, but it came through us doing, not through us learning. And so that's the other, like I love personal development and I'm all about personal development, but nothing will develop you faster than massive action. And so that would be my tip for you who are getting started. Don't think twice. Don't try to learn everything about the oils. Don't think you have to memorize all these fancy scripts or learn about, all these different strategies. Just share the oils with the largest number of people that you can. Do it with a servant heart, and you're going to have amazing results. And the last tip I'd give you is just listen to every single thing and do everything that these amazing people who are these amazing leaders that are on the call tell you to do, because they've already walked the path. And you can try to invent your way there, or you can just be coachable, do what they say. And actually, I would counsel you to do 2 or 3 times what they tell you to do, and then you'll grow very, very well. So that's my little message and a little bit about our journey, and I hope it was beneficial. So
wow, Matt, just a question for you. I love how you guys navigated when things weren't always the easiest, right? Like, we're in a world right now that, like, you could get different obstacles every day, right?
yeah.
And what would you tell these people to do when they come up against the obstacles?
This is so my personal opinion is that actually, if you can't build doTERRA right now during this crisis, you can't build doTERRA, period. Like, this is the easiest it's ever been. And so why? Because one, like, there's 2 things. We offer the 2 solutions that people need right now. Like, they need greater immune support and health, and they need a second financial option. And so I really feel like it's easier now than it's ever been. And if you don't feel like that's true for you, then you just need to posture up and up-level your belief and be more bold with your message, because I promise you there are more people looking than ever for the health solutions that we have. And also, like, just look at unemployment. Anybody, and these are not non-productive members of society who are they want to wait for the government to, like, bail them out. Like, we have people who are, they're hard workers they're not in production mode. Like, they're at home, sitting at home. My dad's company just had to lay off 800 people that are, like, high level producers. These are people who are really good at sales. And so there's all of these producers out there who don't have an income. They don't know what to do. And guess what? You have something to offer them. And so I would say it's easier right now than ever before. And if you don't get started right now and hustle right now, like, our enrollments this month in doTERRA are already almost 1,000 people more than they were last month. And last month was our record month. And so, like, now is the time to run. And it's not being opportunistic or being a profiteer, right? If you really believe and know that you have a solution to help people, like, imagine if you were the one who just lost their job and somebody out there had a solution for you, and they were too scared. They were too scared to share it for you. The truth is, like, there's gonna be rejection. You're gonna be judged for trying to serve the world, but that's gonna happen no matter what. That's gonna happen no matter what. And I feel like some people, they just reach out to enough people just to get frustrated, right? Like, they reach out to just enough prospects to the point where they get, like, 1 yes or 2 yeses, or they get frustrated. Where if you just go out and you take massive action and you talk to everybody you know, you are going to find the 4 or 5, 6, 7, or 8 people that really need you right now. And so yeah, that's what I'd say, Natalie, is I don't look at this moment as like, I know that some people see objections. I just see opportunity. I know that, like, one of the biggest times when millionaires were created in our history was during the Great Depression. Go look it up. It's like, this is a moment for you to shine and to bring solutions. And if you do that, you will be blessed in massive, massive abundance. So, yeah.
Matt, like, this is reality for you guys. You were telling me earlier this week, you paid off your car this week, your amazing van, right? Like, you got a nice primo van.
Yeah.
You guys you're 30 now, and you have set yourself and your family up for an incredible legacy and opportunity. Like,
I'd say you guys have set us up for an amazing opportunity. We just bring our thanks back to you, and I cannot not talk about doTERRA, guys. When I look at my life and what's happened, like, think about you being the Goddards and changing my life in that way. Imagine you being the recipient of that depth of gratitude. Like, I'm just eternally grateful for you guys, and I feel like we're just getting started. And financially, yeah, our life is changing in massive ways. I think, according to our calculations, we'll have our house paid off within 2 years if our income doesn't grow, and it's growing, very, very quickly. And so we're very excited to get like fully out of debt. And obviously we feel like the mission is just growing more and more and more. So thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing your story and for bringing your brilliance. I love what Matt just said about the opportunity it is right now. Can you tell where his mind is and how he sees things? Like that literally is success. It's 80% plus mindset. And you've got a great example of what that looks like there. So thank you, Matt. I love what you said about a beautiful time for partners as well. So there, you know, we were blessed enough to decide who we wanted to partner with in doTERRA and go and approach them from the get-go. And that made such a difference for us. And there's never been more capable people that are ready, that are prepared to partner up with you. So choose the people that you might want to run with, that you want to play with. Like Matt and Shantae, we want to go on vacations with Matt and Shantae and their higher living and ways to create for the rest of our lives. And we're so grateful that they chose in to this amazing dream. So
Matt and Shantae aren't going to brag about how cute they are, so I am. So check out this beautiful family they have.
That's Matt with hair.
Yep.
Yep.
So 30-year-olds, presidential diamonds.
Yeah.
Set for life. So awesome.
Changing the world. And we're going to just pass the mic now. Thanks, Matt, for bringing it. Want to pass the mic to Heather and Jared Anderson. They have, wow, been such a joy to work with. We have been blessed to partner with them, with Amy and Rich Fulmer. It's just been total joy, learning, growing together. And so Heather, you guys have an incredible lineup for tonight. Take it away.
Thank you. So you got to be ready when Matt talks, because like these amazing quotes and nuggets, like these Matt thoughts come out and you got to like write them down. You're like, oh, that was good. And I just got to say, I wish we were 30. I wish that we found doTERRA when we were 30, because honestly, I can't even imagine where we'd be sitting. But everything happens in the right time and with the right people in the right place. So you just trust that, right? So I get the privilege to introduce to you Brittany Anderson. She's going to share with us a little bit about one of our most famous, most loved doTERRA products. And you know, the business is amazing, but a business is not a business without a top amazing product, right? And so we're going to dive just a little bit into that. But Brittany, she is one of our business partners and also our sister. So that's really fun for us to be able to work with her in both ways. But Brittany is a nurse practitioner, and she's been in the medical field for many years and has been able to practice medicine, but also has this desire to really bring in the natural into her medicine. And we really feel like this is going to be the future. And that part of our team, as well as doTERRA, is what's going to bridge that gap between natural and medical and bring them together. So Brittany has got to experience this lifelong vitality pack in her own life and in her practice. So we're going to let her share with us a little bit about that. So Brittany. We can't hear you. There you
Unmute. Go. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, technical difficulties right off the bat. So like Heather said, I have been a nurse practitioner for 10 plus years. And when I was able to get in and start practicing in a clinic, I was actually fortunate enough to get into a practice that practiced natural medicine and holistic medicine. So right off the bat, I was introduced to this other side of medicine, which I didn't realize the huge opportunity that I was given. And it was just by luck that I landed this job. What I didn't realize is when I left my practice, I still had people coming up to me, because I left about 3 years and went on my own. And I had people coming up to me, Brittany, do you still practice medicine? And I said, of course I practice natural medicine. I love natural medicine. But the problem is I'd have people come and say, okay, here are these bottles that I just bought off of Amazon. What do you think? So then I would be spending about 2 hours trying to figure out if these supplements were actually good natural supplements. So I decided, hey, I need to figure out one company to back up. I need to find one company to land on. So over the next year, I researched about 10 different companies, 10 different medical grade companies that I could say, okay, if you want something natural, this is what I want to back up. And it just happened that I was able to access someone with a lot of research of doTERRA, and so I started to research other companies, and I landed on doTERRA because of their purity and their consistency and all the research that I have found. On top of it, then I got into the Lifelong Vitality Pack, and personally, not only the research that I found on it, but then I personally had some experiences with this Lifelong Vitality Pack. I tell you what, if you do not have this, if you have not tried this, everyone, I don't care if you're 20 years old, I don't care if you're 80 years old, everyone should have this. And let me kind of explain the basics to it and why. Down to your cellular health, you are made of two things. You're made of amino acids and you're made of fatty acids, which are essential fats. Your amino acids are your protein. Your fatty acids are your essential fats, fish oil, omega-3s, flaxseed, salmon oil, all those type of good fats that we have. So if you are not giving your body essentially what it needs, it's not going to function the way that it's supposed to. So when I hear people that they don't have the energy that they need, their gut isn't working the way that they're supposed to, it's supposed to. Their hair is brittle, their skin is dry, their nails aren't growing. They can't concentrate, they can't focus, they can't do those things, or they might have an injury and it's not healing. My first question is, okay, what are you giving your body? And most of them are like, yeah, I could probably improve in that. So this is it. Let me tell you about the first thing. This fish oil, or this fatty acid, this essential acid. It is fantastic as a natural anti-inflammatory. It's good for the brain. So when you're having depression, when you're having a foggy brain, or can't focus or can't think straight, if you are having any inflammation in your joints, your muscles, this is a natural anti-inflammatory. And then on top of it, you're giving your body what it needs. And again, you'll hear me repeat myself many, many, many times through this. Give your body what it needs. So it's part of your heart health as well. This helps fight cholesterol. So I can't tell you how many people that came in from mental wellness or gut issues. And one of the first things I put them on was a good fish oil. Now, the main complaint that I get about fish oils, if you taste the fish oil, if you burp this up or it tastes fishy, you have a bad quality fish oil. There are several companies that it's not made the right way. So again, make sure the brand that you pick is a good brand, made the right way, processed the right way. And I tell you what, this doTERRA is. The second one is this Alpha CRS. And if you have looked at these ingredients and if you know what these are, again, it helps to detox your liver. It helps is a natural energizer. There's natural anti-inflammatories in here. I think when I started this, I just started thinking, okay, I'll take a multivitamin. I got the pack, didn't think twice about it. In 4 days, and I know this is not typical, but in 4 days, all of a sudden I had energy. All of a sudden I was motivated to do something. All of a sudden my moods were stable. And I didn't think I was feeling that crappy until how much better I felt. And I realized how crappy I was feeling before. And that was only in 4 days. Now that's not typical. Usually it takes your body a few months to really treat the underlying problems that it's having to cause those symptoms. So if you're having inflammation, allow it time to actually develop and to start working. But for me, it worked about 4 months. I also gave my mom this, and she has been battling health issues for 10 plus years. She has been on it for the last 3 months, and my dad and her both came to me and just thanked me over and over for this. It will make me a little emotional because my mom has not been able to gain weight, has been in an unhealthy weight for years, has had a lot of immuno issues. And all of a sudden my mom has energy. My mom is feeling better. And she says, this is the best I've felt in 10 years. So I feel like this has been an answer to my prayers. So to hear that not only as her doctor, but as her child, it brought me a lot of happiness. And so that's one thing that my mom will never go without as well. This last thing is the Microplex. This has things in here to help control blood sugars. It has things in here. Vitamin D is, again, anti-inflammatory. It has all your vitamins and minerals, and the minerals to this is why it's so effective. It's because your minerals help you absorb the vitamins better. A lot of times you go and buy something and you don't realize that you might need something to combine with it to actually make it work effectively. It's like calcium. You need vitamin D to actually get calcium to be absorbed. Iron needs vitamin C to be absorbed. So doTERRA has done its research to make sure whatever it accompanies with it, whatever it's partnering with it, is to make sure that product is being absorbed better and being more potent. But this is one thing. If I back one thing up, have nothing but good things to say about this product, it would be the Lifelong Vitality Pack. Try it. I have the research behind this. I went and looked at a couple different products, and just to buy these products alone, and they would not be good quality, if you went and bought each of them, would be about $250 to $300 by itself. And they not good quality products, have a lot of fillers in it. So this is a product that for wholesale, you get all 3 bottles for a month, is actually a fantastic deal. So give it a try. If it doesn't work, doTERRA, you can return it for the full price, the 30-day guarantee. But I promise, you give it a month, you give it a couple months, and let it really work. Let it really help your body down to your basics again. You will feel the difference. So I hope I covered everything. If I haven't, Heather.
That was so great. Thank you so much, Brittany, for sharing. And it was so cool to just hear your perspective and your knowledge and your experience of how many people you've seen it bless in your practice and family and all those things. So thank you for sharing with us. And I will echo that. Like, I cannot believe, like, I didn't realize how much my mood could be affected. Like, I've been blown away. I'm a much better mom and wife on the Lifelong Vitality. And it's shocking that supplements could do that to your body. Who knew? That could just help you be a happier, more stable, in a good mood kind of a person. So, okay, well, we are really excited to be able to share with you guys just a little bit about our story. And just, I love to see the numbers. I am all about like, show me the research, show me the numbers, because, sorry, going to our presentation here, because that's where I really feel like it's hard to argue with a lot of those things. So to give ourselves a quick, brief introduction, this is our family. We have 5 kiddos. Anything you want to say about them?
They're awesome.
It's been a fun journey. We actually started this industry right when this little one was in my tummy, like a month before she was born, 8 years ago. And I will say, like, I just felt like when I started, like, how can I fit anything else in my life? I'm struggling to take a shower. And would you say any thoughts on that situation?
About showering?
No.
No, yes. Well, as a lot of you know, raising a family is wonderful, but it's a lot of work, right? And we were right in the middle of all this as you were going through.
Yeah. And so it was just, I didn't really feel like I could fit anything else in, but when I realized the power of sharing and this industry, I was able to create time, and we'll talk more about that later. And I will say too, I'm so grateful for this industry. So we're gonna, in our part here, we're gonna share a little bit, just kind of go through questions that you might have. Why direct sales? Why doTERRA? Why now? Why this team? And why direct sales is something that I personally feel so passionate about. I actually had a negative experience with this industry after I graduated from college, lost a lot of money. But the second time around, when I started to see the true things about what this industry can do, bringing freedom and really blessing people's lives on an incredibly deep level, I really had a change of heart, I guess, about what this industry can do. How would you say with you being able to?
Well, I come from a insurance and financial planning type of background, and I love it, but it's a lot of hours, long weeks, and once you really started getting going, we finally got to the point where I was able to taper back, and now just work a partner full time with you. And it's just been a wonderful blessing to be able to be home more.
Yeah.
So
I feel like this industry is something that can just bless families in an incredible way. And so I kind of want to share a little bit about that, like when I saw the truth the industry can do. So I'm going to share this video here, and I should, oh, you know, I have to stop to share that. I actually have to share in a special way. Sorry. Okay, hold on. Okay, we're going to get this figured out. I forgot that I had to share screen. Okay, we'll stop that. Thanks for your patience, guys. This is our first time. Hold on, so I have to go back and share screen differently. So, okay, here we go. Let me try this one more time. So when I share screen, oh, my audio is patchy. I'm so sorry. We should have used your computer.
No worries. Just face the computer and we got you.
Yes. Okay, we're trying to, okay, there we go. Share computer sound. There we go. All right, one more time. I just forgot to click that extra box. And we'll make this full screen.
Back in 1999, I was going to college. I read a book, and it had a very impactful story that stuck with me ever since then. In fact, I was going to school to be a dentist. And when I read this book, I actually changed everything that I was doing and realized that I was actually going to school to haul buckets. Now, what I mean by that is this story. Basically, there's this guy. He lives in a village. The village is a couple miles away from the closest water source. And his job basically was to put a yoke on his back, hitched to 2 different buckets, and he'd make this hike every day. He'd fill his buckets up with water, walk back, and every day, all of his inventory was sold out. Everybody wanted what he had. Everybody needed what he had. He had an incredible job security. And if he wanted to make more money, he'd just simply make more trips. He would go back and forth as many times as he could, and every time he went back and forth, he'd make more money. And anyway, that's how he provided for his family. That's how the village got water. Well, another guy sees this and says, man, I want to take advantage of that because that guy's got perfect job security. Everybody needs his product. And so he fashions himself a yoke, gets a couple buckets, and starts making trips the same as this other guy. Just like the other guy, everybody needed his product. He's making a good living. But what he ended up doing is, instead of making multiple trips per day, he would basically make one trip, and then he'd take whatever extra time he had and start building a pipeline. I guess you could say he was working full-time on his job and part-time on his fortune. Well, one man was hauling buckets back and forth, making more money than his friend. He worked day and night, night and day, first hauling buckets to make sure his family was taken care of, and then working nights and overtime trying to figure out how to build this pipeline, overcoming the concerns that he had to deal with, the rocks in the ground. He spent the time doing that to build this pipe consistently and persistently over time. Well, a few years later, he finally finishes the pipeline, gets it to the village, and eventually turns on a spigot. Now, at this point, everybody in the village can come and get as much water as they want. It's cooler, cleaner, fresher, better than the water he was hauling with buckets, and cheaper. Everybody could get it much more affordably. And he did this. He not only built an actual pipeline that was a pipeline of water, but he also built a financial pipeline, something that would pay him and his family and take care of his needs for the rest of his life.
All right, so I'm going to stop it there and come back to the slideshow. Okay, so I love this beautiful concept that you can build a pipeline, and I honestly don't feel like, direct selling, I feel like, is really the best industry to do that. And statistics actually show that that is truly the case. According to the Department of Labor, you're 5 times more likely to make a 6-figure income with the same amount of time and effort invested in a direct sales job versus a traditional corporate job. So really statistically, if you're looking for where is a great place to build a pipeline and really have that freedom, this is the best industry to do it. And especially for men and women, we're going to have, like you guys saw Matt, we're going to hear from Seth later, who was in that video. But especially for women, 82% of women who make over $100,000 a year do it through the direct selling industry. So again, another stat that shows this is such a great industry to really have that freedom. Can you guys, everybody hear me okay? Should I get my headset, or is it the sound all right? Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. And hopefully it's, okay, it's just right there. Anyway, so when I realized that this is a great industry, I feel like doTERRA especially is very, very different. Unfortunately, I'm plugging my audio in here so you guys can hear me better. Okay, All right, there we go. We're gonna figure this out. Anyway, there are a lot of companies, I feel like, that have unfortunately given direct sales a bad rep, and I am so grateful that doTERRA is completely different. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. But I first wanted to share a little bit more about like the pipeline and this concept of building a financial pipeline and the freedom that that has and what that actually looks like. It sounds like a nice concept, right? But how does it actually happen in direct sales? Like looking at numbers, right? So this is a picture of an airplane here, and Rich actually put this in the slideshow, and we won't go back and forth so that you guys can hear us better. But anyway, it's really a lot like an airplane having success in this industry. To get in the air for an airplane, does anybody know what throttle it has to be at to get in the air? Anybody want to put in the comments? Do you guys know? It has to be at 100% throttle for an airplane to get off the ground into the air. And really the key and how to build that pipeline in this business is momentum and going full throttle if possible for a little period of time. And then you get in the air and it's a lot more smooth sailing and you have a lot more freedom from there. So I wanted to show you guys, when I first started in this industry 8 years ago, I saw this concept and it changed everything for me. Suddenly I realized like I could still be a mom, I could still take care of our kids and do the things that were important to me. But at the same time, I could be building that pipeline little by little during nap time and once my kids went to bed and during the play dates and things like that. And so this is a concept that I want to share with you guys. So this is based on if you are bringing on 2 new people to your business every month versus if you just bring 1 person. So in doTERRA, like that doesn't sound very overwhelming, right? Like signing up 2 people, that's pretty doable, right? You can share oils with 2 people. Versus if you do it with 1. I just want to show you the difference in momentum and how you can build a pipeline in this business. So this is what it looks like if in every month you're either bringing on 2 people or you're bringing on 1. Now, after 3 months, you find someone that wants to do the business too. So out of every 6 people you're bringing on, so every 3 months, you're finding someone that's like, oh, you know what? I'd like to do what you're doing. I love these oils. I want to share them. And so look what happens. So after 6 months, oops, let me move this part here. Sorry, so you guys can see that. After 6 months, let's see if we can move this. There we go. Okay, after 6 months, you can see the difference, 36 versus 9 people. And this, again, you're just bringing on 2 people every month versus if you're bringing on 1 person every month. And then every 6th person you bring on, they decide to do the business like you are. So let's see what it looks like after. Oops, we went back too far, but that's okay. So after 10 months, this is what it would look like. And this is getting in the way. Do you know how to make that go away? Exit, there we go. Okay, sorry. Anyone can do this, right? Okay, so you can see 128 people versus 23 people. I think we just need to be on the slide covering up numbers. Anyway, so after 12 months, look at the difference, 274 versus 32 people. So this is the power of momentum. This is the power of the direct selling model where there's compounding growth that happens from you bring on 1 person and then you bring on someone else and every few months you find someone that starts to do what you're doing. But look at that momentum. Like Matt talked about, you guys, so many people after the first 3 months or the first 4 months, right? They think, oh, I'm not getting anywhere and they quit. But look what happens. Those numbers were so small, right? After 3 months or after 6 months. But after 12 months of being consistent of doing that, it's huge. So I want to talk about why doTERRA, why now? I was very successful in another company. I was at the very top level. I was in the top of that company every single year for 6 years in a row in the top 10 people. And I left all that to come to doTERRA because I believe in freedom. And I discovered, unfortunately, where I was, that it was not a model that was designed to have time freedom. It was not a model that was designed to give a lot of people abundance and success. And so I looked into a lot of companies. Oops, sorry, and I keep touching the screen. And doTERRA was the best company that I found for providing freedom and for really changing people's lives and providing a true residual income. So they're the largest essential oil company in the world. They have led the market and really put the essential oil industry on the map. Our oils are the most trusted, most tested oils in the market. We have doctors and hospitals across the world that use our oils. They're ethically, sustainably sourced. So that is something I'll talk about a little bit more later. I'm so proud of this part of the company. When I learned about it, I was just like, that makes my heart sing. The difference we're making. And we partner directly with the farmers. So that is really cool. We're not going through a third party. We're partnering with farmers who've done this for generations and empowering them and paying them fair wages and more than they were making before. We're in over 120 markets. So this company, you guys, like the world is our opportunity. There are, you know, if you know someone in another country, you can completely grow your business worldwide. And their compensation plan is genius. That is one of the main things, besides the products, which is another thing that really, really drew me to doTERRA, as you could see from hearing from so many people who've already shared. But the compensation plan truly is genius. It is very different from almost everything else in the industry. And we'll talk a little bit more about that too. And then our high retention rate of 65% of customers continue to order again and again. And we're privately owned, so our company has no debt. And that's really huge that we're privately held. That brings a lot more security and stability to the company. Anyway, and then our team of ownership, our owners are amazing. So, oh yeah, and it's a 12-year-old company. So we're gonna talk a little bit here about like really what makes doTERRA different from other countries in the market. So this is probably the biggest thing. And when I learned about this, I just was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. I had been in a company where our retention was about 10%, actually it was less than 10%. So most direct selling companies are very hard to do because out of the 10 people you bring on, only one will stick around. And so in doTERRA, 65% of people stick around and order within 3 months, and they're ordering again and again and again. And so I want to show you guys like why that is the case. Why is our retention so high, and what does that mean for you? That means if you want to share this business with, you know, 2 people a month, all that work you're doing is going to be a lot more fruitful because people are going to stick around. You're going to be building versus having a boat with a big hole in it where 90% of people are going, you know, out of the boat. Instead, 65% are actually staying in. And again, you're building on that. So our loyalty rewards program is really one of the main things that really makes our company unique and that allows customers to stick around. So doTERRA really puts a strong investment into our lifelong customers. And basically with this loyalty rewards program, what it does is it gives all these benefits to our customers to stick around and order again and again and again. They get they get to earn where they get 30% back in free products. They're eligible for a free product every month that doTERRA is paying them and incentivizing them with, or you know, giving them for free. They're getting their shipping credited in free products. So that means they're paying $3.99. Getting $4 back in free products. So this makes us super competitive with Amazon, you guys. And so many other companies, like shipping is a hard conversation to have a lot of times because people are so used to, you know, Amazon Prime, right? And so the fact that doTERRA has come up with this beautiful solution to really make us competitive in the industry and in the market with crediting that shipping and free product. And then they also have access to discounted packages and things by being in this loyalty program. So this is one really key thing that doTERRA does to help you have your customers stick around. So the other thing, and I should have put this some of our other slides first, that's okay, is doTERRA's been around for 12 years, you guys, and we have had incredible growth. As Matt was mentioning, last month was a record month. Our sales of On Guard increased over 100%. Just this week alone, with our Bobo Week, sales were up, growth over last year, 350%. So this is huge evidence that we are a company that people need our products. Health is a priority for people. And even in a time right now where so many people are struggling and there's so many challenges in the world, our products are so relevant and are so needed by people that we're experiencing amazing growth. And that is such a huge gift. I'm so humbled and honored that we are able to be such a solution for people, even in times of struggle. According to Verify Markets, and this is so crazy, this industry is projected to grow from 5 billion to 25 billion in the next 10 years. So we're right at the forefront of a huge amount of industry growth, and doTERRA is the biggest part of this market. And our saturation is roughly about 1.7% in the US, which is really, really low compared to, especially since we've only been around for 12 years. So we're still very close to ground level. And that's a huge opportunity. I don't know what Canada's is, but I know I'm sure it's far less than that. So the opportunity is really, really huge. I'm shocked how many people have heard positive things about doTERRA, but they've never really learned about it, or they've tried a couple things like, oh yeah, I've heard about that, they don't have an account. They don't realize all the benefits. And so the fact that we're in this industry right now, sorry, let me put that back. The fact that we're in the industry right now where people have been primed, they've been sampled, they're now more open to oils, they're open to natural things so much more than they were 12 years ago. We're really on the forefront of having so many early adopters, the early majority now, like the early majority of people coming on board with natural healthcare and wellness. And so because we're in this place where the company is more established, it's a lot easier because our market is much more ready for our message. And this is what I should have put first, this slide. So let me go back. So really what makes doTERRA different is our sourcing, which we are committed to every oil that we sell is coming from a place where it grows indigenously, or it's growing in ideal conditions for that plant. And so that combined with our CPTG testing, for those of you that aren't very familiar, they're new to doTERRA, and that just means certified pure therapeutic grade. A third party is testing every single product, every single oil that we sell. And that's huge. It goes through over 30 different tests. It's a very, very rigorous testing process to ensure that every oil that comes out of our warehouse is completely pure. So when you get that level of purity and you get that level of a therapeutic chemical profile coming from a plant that was grown in its indigenous region, that gives you results. And when you're getting results and healing from a product, that's what equals our retention. So this is the other secret and the other piece. Not only is our structure and the loyalty program, but I feel like the strength of our products is in the brand trust and in the quality and the healing qualities of the products that we sell, because people truly do get results. So I'm going to share this video here. One of the other things that, just like I was saying, makes my heart so happy about doTERRA is the way that they source all of their oils and their Healing Hands Foundation, which is a big part of our company and the difference that we make. So I'm going to share this video. And again, you guys, somebody like Natalie, wave at me if the audio isn't sharing from this video, but hopefully it is. I just went back and I don't do that. I should not. Here we go. Okay. Okay.
Response of doTERRA and especially Healing Hands in helping the Haitian community, the Haitian vetiver community with different co-ops to get back on their feet after that disaster. We have new wells being drilled, and in a short time they will have access to potable water, which is like gold now in Haiti, because you know, having kids walk for an hour and a half to go get a single gallon of water, you know, it's not an easy task. D'accord, merci.
All right, and isn't that amazing? But what is so cool to me is that this is just one story out of the dozens and dozens of communities and countries. doTERRA sources their oils, you guys, from over 40 different countries. And many of those are third world countries. And what is so amazing to me, it's not just this one time where we went in and built 3 wells and replaced 500 roofs and built schools for these children. It's in dozens and dozens of communities where this has happened. Everywhere where doTERRA sources their oils from a third world country, they go into the communities there and they connect with the members of the community and say, what are your needs? And they go in and build schools and wells and clinics and hospitals. They just opened up a hospital in Somaliland this year that will service over 500,000 people. And so I feel so honored that when I share the oils, when I work this business, I'm not just blessing the people that I'm sharing with in the way that it's healing them in their homes. I'm not just blessing my family financially. I am helping thousands and thousands of people across the world to be lifted out of poverty. They're really through lifting people through access to education, through access to healthcare, giving them sustainable jobs, pay them fair wages. So many of the farmers are making 4 to 8 times as much now that they're partnering with doTERRA compared to before when they were selling their products to third-party growers or third-party merchants, I guess. Anyway, so I am just so proud to be a part of a company that is really about doing things for the right reason, the right way. And it would definitely be much easier for doTERRA to just go and buy land and you know, do things in a cheaper way, but they don't, because they really want to change the world. They really want to lift people out of poverty, and they have found that this is an incredible business model on the growing end and the harvesting end to do that. So I just want to share briefly about our compensation plan. I mentioned before that it's genius, and it is, and I just want to give you an idea of what's possible, because when I saw this, having been in the industry for 8 years previously and seen another company, seen a lot of other different companies in the industry, I could not believe that this is how much people were making in doTERRA in 12 years time since they've been open. And so here are the different levels of leadership, and elite is kind of the foundation that Matt talked about. He hit elite in 15 days. We hit elite our first month. We've had 35 people on our team hit elite, in the last 4 months. And that's really where the foundation, where, you know, if you figure out how to do this, you just duplicate that again and again and again. And so you can see just going on up how much is possible that you can make. And what I think is so amazing and so unique, really, is in doTERRA, there are hundreds of people that are diamonds that are averaging $16,814 a month. Hundreds of people. In most companies, the people that are making that much money, there might be a handful, a few dozen. So the fact that there's hundreds, and then that just is just the base, like that's the middle, it gets better. You know, there are close to 100 people that are earning on average $38,600 a month. And then a presidential diamond, I believe there's around 80 presidential diamonds, and they're averaging $104,965 a month, not a year. So it's just really, like, if you look at a company and look at their income disclosure, their earnings disclosures, that's really where you can see how great a compensation plan is. And I have just never seen anything like this, where a company has so many people earning so much money. Because of that residual income that people buy again and again and again, because of the customer retention. So another thing about it is we just love the team, like the network and the people you get to connect with. It is the most wonderful blessing to have just so much support and so much just love and friendship and people that you get to celebrate and learn from. And then why this team? So we're partnered with the best, right? It doesn't get any better than the Goddards. That's why they are the top in the whole world of this giant international company. doTERRA is the top direct selling company in the US. And so it's just such a huge privilege that we get to have their support and their help and their backing. We last month alone, just on our team, and I know we have several other teams on the call, and I hope this just helps you see, look, growth is happening in doTERRA right now in an amazing way. We had 172 new team members last month, and out of those, 81 are wellness advocates. And I'm really just so humbled and grateful that in a time like this, when there are a lot of people needing work and needing to increase their incomes, that we have been so privileged to get to have something that's a solution for that for people. And just to see, proud and humbled to see how our hard work is creating something meaningful, a meaningful opportunity for people right now. And then this is our team in the last 4 months, just so you can see, like, is this really possible? Is this something that you really can do? You know, I just wanted you guys to see, we've had 35, because we had a new elite promote today. But 35 people have hit elite in the last 4 months in our team. Out of those, 11 have also hit premier. And then we've had 4 also hit silver. And then we have 2 that have hit gold in the last 4 months. So just this opportunity really is real, and we know how to do it. And it can be small, it can be big, it's whatever you want to do. But I'm super honored and grateful that we get to be making such a significant impact and difference right now. So I'm going to introduce Heather Anderson, and she is just, her and Jared are some of our favorite people. She is one of the hardest workers that I know. She was also at the very top of the company, and really, it's a privilege we get to hear her and Jared are super accomplished in business, and they are strategic and full of heart and love. So take it away, Heather and Jared.
Awesome. Thanks, Amy.
Thanks, Amy.
For the great intro. We are also going to give a try at sharing screens and doing things that are technical, if that's okay. So this is us. This is our little family. We have 4 kids. This is Jared. I am Heather. And we absolutely love doTERRA. And I kind of have a funny story, because I have had much more of a love for a longer time than Jared. So it's just a real true story, right? It's okay to share the truth. So here's what happened. We have used the oils in our house for 8 years now. And, you know, 8 years ago, the idea of essential oils was a little bit more foreign and a little bit more like, what is an oil going to do? You're thinking of like olive oil. That is not going to take away your headache, sister, or whatever, right? So I went to a class and I learned about the oils. While I was there, I had like just this huge aha, this knowing that I had to have these in our house. I knew as a mom that they were going to empower me and that I could do something for my kids when they woke up in the middle of the night. And the biggest thing for me is that I could do something for my kids when we got a virus. Okay, so I know that maybe this is not fully compliant, so we're going to keep this right here in the Zoom room, okay? But the reality is what I learned that night is that our cell has this oily membrane around it, and it's a protective layer. And so it keeps harmful things out, but also antibiotics, because they are man-made and synthetic, they can't cross that oily layer and get inside the cell. But guess what? That is where viruses live, is inside the cell. So you guys know this when you go to the doctor, you cannot get a prescription for a virus because the prescription can't get through there into where the virus is. But when I found out that one of these bottles could be used to penetrate the cell and get in where the virus is and handle that, tell me that's not mom power right there. So here I come, all sorts of ready to be the mom of America. And I tell Jared, I just went to this class and these oils are going to change our life. And I'm going to totally get a kit and get started. He's like, oils? We're not going to get oils. Okay, I have to pause the story button because we don't really argue about money. I'm frugal. We trust each other. We're frugal. You know what I mean? And so he says to me, you're not getting those oils. Excuse me, what? Okay, so remember, I just came home full of passion and knowing this was going to change our family's life. And he tells me, we're not getting them. What do y'all think I said? Oh, yes, we are. I am getting those oils, right? And I did. And so grateful. So honestly, if I'm going to be honest, I was all on board, and when I would leave oils for Jared to put on the kids, but he was kind of like, that's your thing, and he didn't really have a belief in the oils, right?
True.
I mean,
yeah.
So It's not been, he would let me put them on him, but he just kind of wasn't there. It's not been until probably in the last year that he kept having problems like concussions, cold sores, things that needed the oils, that the oils were helping and fixing, till finally I was like, listen, will you just say out loud that the oils work so that you can quit having problems happen and we can move on past this point in our lives? And he did, right?
And they did.
Yeah, so you, with your concussion.
Yeah, the oils totally helped me knock that headache out.
That can last
really quick.
A long time.
Yeah.
What'd you use?
I use past tense.
Past tense is in a roller bottle that you can just roll right on your head. Then the cold sores, that was a pretty big deal for you.
Oh yeah, so I get a cold sore right here every once in a while. And if you've ever had a cold sore, it takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks for it to really
process and
take care of itself. Heather made a little remedy with 3 or 4 different oils. And just when I started feeling, I put it on and it never even blistered. Within a day or two, it was gone.
Like that's magic up in our house. Okay. So
it's big time.
Y'all, the oils work in the Anderson home. That's what we want you to know. And they work in yours too. That's the cool thing. So I mentioned one of the cool things about the oils, but I feel like you guys, we haven't got to hit real hard on the product tonight, but I feel like this is foundational and really, really important because this whole entire business is about the product that we share. And whether the product works or not. And we know that it does because we have a 65% retention rate. So I want to tell you the 3 cool things about our products that that's why we're here today. And that's why doTERRA is growing exponentially. So number 1, and this is huge, is that doTERRA essential oils are 100% natural and safe. There are no side effects and no addictions. This is really huge because nothing is added, nothing is taken away. They are not adulterated, but more than anything, they're tested. They're certified, pure, therapeutic grade. So if we want to get results, they have to be at that therapeutic level and they have to be pure. One of the ways that we use the oils is internal. And as a mom, I researched and I looked, I'm not going to give my family something internal that's not going to be safe, right? So that's a really, really huge deal that we do all the extensive testing. So essential oils are 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. And I like herbs. I've studied herbs and they do amazing things. But imagine the concentration of 1 drop of peppermint being equal to 28 glasses of peppermint tea. Like, shebang, whoa, right? And that's what it does. I mean, it opens your airways, it clears out your sinuses, your eyes go big, and you're like, oh, that's what you do when you have peppermint. Okay, so that's one thing that I think maybe the most important is, and what makes us different is that purity, is that testing. So number 2, the essential oils can oftentimes be more effective than modern medicine. And I told you guys about that. My experience at the class when they taught me that essential oil could go right through that cell. Hot dang, like that's power right there. So number 3 is that they are actually very, very affordable. Pennies per use is what it is. So for an ear infection, 64 cents. When was the last time you drove to the doctor, paid your copay, got your prescription for less than 64 cents? Not happened, right? So pretty cool that it's very, very affordable as well. The 3 ways that we use the oils, number 1 is that we just breathe it in. So I'm using my adaptive, and you guys, this is something that came out in September. I don't even know how people have lived without it. Truly, this is balancing when it comes to stress, anxiety, depression. We've used oodles of it, but I'll just rub it right on here and breathe it in. Sometimes you're gonna just cup your hand just like that and breathe it in. You can use it in a diffuser, but it goes directly in and hits a nerve right here that signals to the rest of your brain and body how to feel, balances mood and memory. So a super powerful way to bring in those oils. Number 2, the second way is you can put them right on your skin just like I did. Takes it right into the bloodstream, and a main way that we use them is on the bottom of our feet. You might be surprised to know that we have the largest pores in our body on the bottom of our feet, and it just takes that oil right into your body, right into your bloodstream. Number 3 is internally, and like I mentioned, because of the purity, we can take them internal. And I mean, this is powerful. When you're starting to talk about issues like Crohn's and, stomach issues and Overall, when we get a virus, I mean, boom, I'm hitting it internal and topical, and we see things turn around quick. So powerful way to use the oils. Okay, so guys, this is not our first rodeo. We just want to tell you part of our experience with business is a little bit extensive. For me, as Amy mentioned, I was part of another company for 9 years and started that here in Utah and was able to grow to the top. And I tell you that because I left that. And I left a 6-figure income to be right here. And the reason is because I thought I was in a place where I was building something that was long lasting, that had that residual income. Put the time in and let it keep paying me later down the road. That's what we want, right? But 9 years down the road, I looked at my bucket and it was leaking faster than I could fill it. And that was devastating and heartbreaking because I had put 9 years of my life into it, thinking I was going somewhere that I really wasn't. So I looked. If I'm going to leave 6 figures and I'm going to leave very close friends and relationships, then it better be pretty amazing. And I looked into many things, and doTERRA is it. I mean, I'm going to challenge you to find a better comp plan, a better product, a better retention rate, a better time. Like, the challenge is on.
A better business, period.
A better business, period. Yeah. So Jared is very experienced in all sorts of business. He went to law school. I like to say we went to law school because you guys, I babysat a lot of kids and did a lot of work for us to get our law degree. Okay. So we went to law school.
We did.
He got the diploma and he's the real attorney, not me. But, and then got into business. We got this business bug and couldn't stop till we did too many businesses.
Well, I think what this all comes down to is, what do you want out of life? And I think what most people want is they want freedom for time to spend with family, to go do things they want to do, service, whatever it is. And you want to have the funds and means available to make that happen. And that is why we have been led to doTERRA. And I think as we talk about our journey a little bit here with these slides, you'll kind of.
And can I add to that list, health? If you're not healthy, how are you going to spend your money when you're stuck at home, right? If you're not healthy, how are you going to go out and give and serve? And what do we have here? We have health. I mean, gosh, it's just really incredible. So what we want to share with you tonight is this cash flow quadrant. Robert Kiyosaki, I'm going to say his name wrong.
Well, Andy not mentioned earlier in that game they played,
the cash flow. Yeah, so this is really cool, and we've kind of lived this quadrant. So in telling you about the quadrant, we're going to be able to tell you a little bit about our story, but hopefully it resonates with you, and you can see, hey, where do I fit in this quadrant, right? So Jared's going to kind of explain and take us through what these letters stand for really quickly.
We'll go through that real quick, and then we'll kind of tell our story with it. So the E is employee. I think a lot of us have been there. If we're not there right now, we've been there in the past, right? You're an employee, you work for someone, you have a job. S is a lot of people want to be their own boss, so they start their own small business, self-employed, maybe grow with a couple employees or something like that. B is you start to grow a little bit bigger of a business, you have more employees, and then you have a system that you teach those employees to help you grow your business, because you don't have time to be there all the time and do everything for everybody. So you have to teach them something that they can go out and do to help you grow.
But you get to make money off of your employees, right? Like them using the system.
Well, that's the goal. You hope that
works. Okay.
And then I, investor, you have assets that you've grown that you can then make money from, which allows you to have a little more time. Think of someone that's retired and has their 401k. That's an asset for them that they live off of, right? Yeah. So that's the investor.
Yeah. So we just saw the video with Amy and Rich a little bit earlier about the man who hauled buckets, right? He exchanged that time for money, an hourly wage job, till he got a better idea. So this is the E quadrant, right? The hauling buckets.
That is right. When we got married, we were at the $6 an hour in the E quadrant. Between the both of us, we made $12 an hour combined.
Yeah. We lived in the student trailer court.
Yeah, we lived in a trailer.
We were happy as could be. We didn't know that people did other things besides get paid minimum. Like, really, that was outside the scope of possibilities. We were like, we got a job.
Yep.
Right?
Students that were living on whatever we could
get.
Love.
We were living on
So those were small buckets, right? And then both of us went to school. I went to a little more school. I ended up getting 4 degrees, which don't ask me why.
Enough.
And I graduated law school, and I went and worked at a law firm, and I worked at a big law firm, and those buckets went from small buckets to pretty good sized buckets. I had a pretty good job. And all while I was in school, it was about how much money can I make? How much can I get at this job to help provide for my family? And then I took this job and I found out I can make a lot of money as an attorney, but I was leaving my house at 6 in the morning. I was getting home at about 8 at night. And very shortly, within a year or two, I was like, those big buckets aren't what I want.
It's not the lifestyle.
Because we had money and it was a great job and I worked for a good big law firm. But the balance between lifestyle and money was not even close to where we wanted it.
We wanted more time off too, more vacation time. And
yep, we like to travel. And so Heather would leave and I would be at work, and a week or two later, I would go meet her at our parents' house because we didn't live near our family. At Christmas time, I'd leave Christmas Eve and get there Christmas Day, and she'd been there for a week or so. So there just wasn't a good balance right here for us.
Yeah, so that's the E quadrant. So the second quadrant is S.
Mm-hmm. And so during this time that I worked at a firm in Texas. Heather always had a dream to own.
No, that's not true.
She did.
I just really liked shaved ice, okay?
Yep. She wanted to own shaved ice.
Yeah, I love shaved ice. We had them at like little stands everywhere here in Utah. We lived in San Antonio, Texas. It's hot as blazes there. And I say, hey, let's get moved in, kids, and we'll go get a snow cone. We go to the parking lots of the grocery stores. There is no snow cones. Like, what is going on? And we say, hey, business opportunity. We know a guy. We know a guy who has snow cone buildings in Utah. So we talked to him. This is outside of our San Antonio house. We had this flatbed trailer roll up with 4 snowy buildings. And y'all, we had a business. We got employees. We had probably 16, 20 kids.
And the business bug started.
The business bug started, right. And so we had like 15, 16 employees.
Well, I thought you said 15 or 16 kids, even though it felt like that. I think we only had 2 or 3 at the time.
Yeah. But guess what? We were open for business. We had our little employees trained. And if you can see right there, we also had ourselves a beautiful $50,000 loan to buy all the supplies and get our business started. And they say, an average business, you're going to need to be in business 5 years before you're going to make your money back. We probably would have been a little bit quicker here, but nonetheless, we start in debt, right? And we've got to work and not make money for a while.
And not only that, we wanted to start a business to help us find this balance between making money and having time, right? And so we start this business. I work at the law firm until 7 or 8 at night. And weekly, I'm going from the law firm to the snowy building to sell shaved ice because an employee didn't show up or for whatever reason. And so we took out a loan, which is risky. We wanted time freedom. Well, it ended up being more time. And so those 2 things didn't quite work out how we wanted.
So the third quadrant is business, where you own a system. And really quickly, this is where Jared kind of got out of law and started a home health and hospice company. And
we started a healthcare company, and we do that, and we got several assisted living facilities and grew a fairly good business. We have about 500 employees, which is awesome. The bad thing about that is there's a lot of risk to build that kind of a business. Those buildings are really expensive. And so in order to make $50,000 or $100,000 a year, you have to risk $6 million or whatever it costs to get that building. So again, you're looking for this combination of where can I get the time freedom and the money freedom? And
you always talk about risk reward.
That's right. Business is a risk reward relationship. And this was pretty risky. It's pretty risky to take that kind of loan out.
But this is how you've been doing business. So when we sat down and we talked with the Goddards and we saw doTERRA and the comp plan, he was like, are you joking me? You can make that kind of money with minimal, like hardly any money risk, just a little bit of time risk? You got to be kidding me. Like he was floored.
It was the perfect combination of what we've been looking for.
Yeah.
And we didn't go there expecting that.
Yeah. And we already knew this kind of model of business could work because I had already, been a top paid person and our belief before that was like, there's no way these things don't really work out, but we lived it. We knew that that was true. We knew you could have that kind of money, but we just needed the right vehicle. And doTERRA was that right vehicle. And that's where we come to quadrant 4. Jared got to spend time in Mexico this last summer with our son. Was it this summer?
It was last
the one before.
June.
Yeah, last June. To build a house for this family, the Osunas in Mexico. And they took time out of their schedule, again, which, you know, you can't do that kind of a thing if you're locked down in a job with no time off or minimal. But in this quadrant is where you are an investor, and what you've invested in or the pipeline that you've built brings you time and money freedom.
You've built an asset that allows you to have this time and money freedom.
Yeah.
And as we were looking at our own journey into doTERRA, I had this opportunity to go down to Mexico and build a new house for this family. And this was their old house. And it was the best experience of my life. It was awesome to go down there and spend time with my son. And then that's my son and I, they were building that new house. And we worked hard. It was a lot of work, but it was the most rewarding experience of my life. And I came back and told Heather, I want to go do that every month. I want to go build a house for a family every month. The only issue that I saw was, and this is where doTERRA comes into play for us a lot also, is we build a house for this family, but I sat down there thinking, what are their kids going to do? I
when
can't
you
go
say
build.
that, you mean, how are they going to survive and how are they going to have a job?
So the kids, when they get old enough, we didn't build a house for the kids. Where are they going to go? How are they going to have means to support themselves? So I came back and told Heather, I got to start a business in Mexico that can help people so that we can build houses for them, but they can provide. And she was looking at doTERRA.
It was in the same week that he has this seed planted in him, this desire to want to go and have this dream to help people in other places and other countries and help the poor, that the vehicle of doTERRA arrived and this opportunity came. And so for many of you, what is your big dream? What is your big goal that you want to do? doTERRA can be that vehicle that brings you the income, the time, the connections, the freedom to live out your dream while helping other people.
And this was awesome. And so, but you can't do that if you don't have the financial means and the time available to go do that. And so that's why when we went and talked to the Goddards about doTERRA, we walked away thinking, oh my gosh, this is something that we need and have to be involved in, because we can help other people. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, we can help ourselves find that good balance between time and money so that we can go do the things that we want to do.
And what a great experience for our son. He just recently said, hey Dad, you know what I want to go do this summer? And we said, what? And he said, I want to go build a house in Mexico, which I have to say, when he left, he didn't want to go work and leave his friends. And, you know, and that was what he said he wants to do this summer, is he felt that when you're giving to others, gosh, I mean, that increases our lives so much, right?
And so the only other thing I'll say about that is it was the most rewarding week of my life. But everybody has stuff like that they want. Everybody has dreams. Everybody has things you want to do. For me, the key is, how do I do that? How can I get there? What vehicle, what asset do I have that will allow me to do what I want to do and provide me freedom financially and the time to do it?
So the question we would ask is, where do you see yourself in 2 years? If you don't change anything that you're doing and you just do what you're doing right now with your employment, where do you see yourself in 2 years? Do you see yourself with more time? And do you see yourself with more money? You know, and a lot of jobs, it's like, hey, you know, I could get a promotion and I could get a little bit of a raise, but is it going to give you the time freedom? You know? So think about that for just a second. So, what would make the biggest impact in your life? I want you to look at these 3 things. And if you're taking notes at all, I want you to jot down really quickly, like, which one of these things in this first box here, debt-free, generous savings account, financial freedom, or charitable giving, what one of those speak to you? I'm thinking we might be checking all the boxes here, but the next one, working smarter, time freedom, building your dreams, having time for self-improvement, right? A lot of times we get put to the bottom of the list. Financial planning and preparedness. And then doing what you love, being able to travel, being able to get more education, or how about help your kids get education or your grandkids, being able to go and do that service and spending time with family. For us, that's what it's all about, right? That's why we want more time. That's why we want more money, is to be able to be with family and to be able to serve.
And we do love to travel too.
And we love to travel, but that's because it's the experience and the connection, right? And the memories. Our kids talk about trips still to this day. So you might be asking yourself, could I do this? I don't know, this kind of business or this kind of product, I don't know. Could I do this? And how could I fit this in? So here's what we're gonna do, you guys. This is something that I say to Jared all the time. We'll go out to eat dinner and we'll eat and I'll say, oh, let's get some ice cream. And he'll say, oh, I'm way too full. I can't have ice cream. And I'm like, what? I don't even get it. It's not like ice cream is this big brick that takes up all this space in your stomach, right? The ice cream just melts and fits around everything into your stomach. Like you can always have ice cream after dinner. That's a thing. So.
And those are true conversations we have.
It is. And so I really thought about that. And doTERRA really can be that ice cream after dinner that just melts and fits in and around what you're already doing and what your life already looks like. So how can you make money? This is what we do over and over and over again. We sample and we share. So you get to say, hey, here's some free oil, right? And put it in a little sample bottle. That's fun. That's easy. I love to give. We teach. We're going to tell them about it, how it works. Then we're going to enroll. When we say enroll, we give them an opportunity to get the product at cost, same as me. That's awesome, right? I don't have to feel like I'm this major salesperson with my trench coat on the corner in the dark alley. No, I can just say, hey, let's hook you up and get you your oils at cost. And then we support. How do we do that? With just continuing education, more classes, we're there for questions, and we do a lot of that together as a team. You are not on your own. It's my favorite thing about this comp plan is the synergy and working together. So what might it look like? Matt mentioned several of these earlier. You can do it your way. It doesn't have to be how I do it. You do it to your strengths and what's going on in your life. So classes, we do them in person, but guess what? Everything is online right now. We're doing classes and we're doing them together as a team. So I might teach, but all y'all are welcome to bring your people and come, right? A study. The study is an opportunity for people to sample in a different way. They get a sample for a whole week's time. You're involved in a Facebook group, and we get feedback before and after, and it just feels a little bit different than your typical just drop off an oil. And it's been really great, and we've had a lot of enrollments. It's really
interactive.
Yeah, over the last 2 months, lots of enrollments. One-on-one, just talking to someone. In my previous business, it would not have been worth my time to sit down one-on-one with someone. In this, it is. And that is such a relief that if I bump into somebody at the dollar store, which I did, and I was checking out because we're in Corona town, and I mentioned something about, do you have oils? And hot dang, I got her. She wanted to know more, and the lady standing behind me. Okay, I was just at the dollar store, that's it, right? So one-on-one, doing a vendor event, and just bringing it into what you're already doing. Maybe you're a chiropractor. Maybe you work at a gym, which is closed right now. Maybe you are just influential on Instagram, social media, whatever it might be. This really can fit into everything that you do. Because if you have an employee and that employee has anxiety, guess what? You can offer them a solution. I mean, from emotional to physical, this can fit into anything. So our whole thing that we do is sample, teach, we enroll, and we support. Very, very simple. So how much time is involved? So we're gonna give you 3 different kind of levels, I guess. And I love this little green pie chart. It shows you how much time that you might be able to put in, right? And then the rank goals that you could hit in what time frame. So if you just want to get your products paid for and be able to get doTERRA free in your house, we call that free doTERRA healthcare, you're going to probably put in about 3 to 5 hours a week. So you're sharing on a regular basis. It's something that you're doing and is on your mind. So you can see the rank goals there. I want to say, as Amy was talking about earlier, we are slashing those time frames. Okay, and the reason is because of our amazing partners, the Goddards, and also because of the experience that many of us have, that we can pull those 2 things together. Of the Goddards, you know, pioneering this, their connections and genius combined with our previous experiences is just as setting us on the fast track. So the second level here is to supplement your income. Many of us need another stream of income. Many of us are realizing, oh my gosh, I thought I had a secure job until this. And who would have ever thought we'd be living in the days of a pandemic, right? And that the economy and the world will be shutting down the way that it is, and people walking around with fear, and every single one of them need our adaptive oil. I'm telling you right now. But looking at supplementing your income, you're looking at anywhere from $1,000 to almost, $5,000, and you can see 10 to 15 hours, so a bit of a part-time job. And you've got a potential for some amazing money to come in. And the thing is whether you go slow or whether you go fast, you are still going to be going. Because of our retention rate, the work that I did in January is building and paying now, and will pay in 10 or 15 years. Do you see how that works? And again, it goes back to our high retention rate. So the last one is replacing your income. This can be your job. You can quit your full-time job as an attorney, as a doctor, or whatever it is, and do doTERRA. I know that sounds crazy, but I've lived it and I've seen the check. So 15 to 30 hours, you're gonna be more in the $5,000 to $17,000 range, right? And it's just gonna build and build over time, and as you put that time in. So what is the next step? The next step, you're like, this sounds good. I wanna give a stab at this, and I'm gonna be Matt Hall. Okay, I don't think that Matt shared this. I gotta think back. This is a Matt Hall nugget. He said, I'm not doing this business to see if it works. I'm doing this until it works. Did he say that earlier? I don't know if he did, but it is one that I repeat over and over. I'm not doing this to see if it works. I'm doing this until it works. And he did. 9 months to elite, a lot of people would have given up, but he's now presidential. Do you guys remember what presidentials make? 100 grand a month. I said a month, not a year. Yep. And if he would have given up, where would he be, right? So what's the next step? Is to get your own account where you get to get products at cost, and then begin training. And here's the exciting thing, is we have an entire plug and play system that is simple and easy. If you can press play and listen, and you can copy and paste, y'all can be successful, right? And then we work together. We do classes together. This that we're doing right now tonight, we've been doing these monthly, except for in person and much more elaborate overnight. But you bring your people, we work together. So that is really it. That is the next steps, is get your account and start your training.
And for those who didn't understand Heather's Texan, y'all means everybody that's listening.
I can say that because we lived in Texas. So you guys are invited. We would love for you to join us on this team, to join us on this journey of sharing health, sharing an opportunity to build wealth, an opportunity to serve, an opportunity to learn a lot about yourself and have personal growth, an opportunity to show your kids that hard work pays off, that we go and we set goals and we try hard. When I have my kids say, hey mom, what rank are you? Hey mom, is it time to go for the next rank? When my teenagers are asking me that, do you think I'm teaching them how to go for it, to reach for the stars, to set a goal? So many things happen in this kind of a business. And I can say that from experience, it will be one of the most rewarding things that you're involved in. It will be one of the most growing and at times challenging, but it always comes back with more growth and more reward. So that's where we're going to wrap up. I know that we have Seth coming up next, and then you're going to come back to me, and I am going to show you how you can join us, how you can get that account, and what that looks like. So, well, let me stop the share of my screen. Can I?
Yeah, that was awesome. Heather and Jared, love it. Don't you guys love their story? Give us a shout out for this Louisiana girl or Texan, whatever you want to claim, Heather.
Texas.
And we're so grateful to learn from your experience and to have both you guys and Amy and Rich just share your journey so we can learn and move forward powerfully. Thank you. Seth Risenmay we have on the call, and Seth, like, you have done this doTERRA journey for quite a while, and we just wanted to hear from your experience tonight. He is a blue diamond, making the magic happen. He is creating a team of 1,000 diamonds, and he knows the power of doTERRA. Seth.
Hi, we're in a car driving. Okay, but well, we can't. So I was just asked, I got a text from Andy that just said, hey, we need you to share your story. And I kind of go, well, that's what part? But Amy gave me a little bit more direction on what she was hoping for, I think. Let me just, I guess what I could tell you is that prior to my journey in doTERRA, I owned my own business. I've always owned my own business. And the recession in 2008 caused, it really devastated a number of companies that I owned at that time. And we had a very large company with many, many employees, hundreds of employees. And that everything started to come to a screeching halt back then, which ended up becoming one of the best blessings of my life. I owned a software company, and that company, I lost my ownership in the company. The company actually went on to do great things, but in fact, it's now a $1 billion company. But however, I can say with total honesty that I am not sad about that one bit, because had any of that not happened, I don't think I would have been humble enough to even consider something like doTERRA, because I had opinions about network marketing. I had actually tried network marketing years ago when I was very young, and so it kind of humbled me enough to take a look at this. The very first time I actually was introduced to doTERRA, what had happened was a friend of mine called me up. He said, I have a gift for you. He brought me by a Modern Essentials book and 3 essential oils. And if any of you have ever seen the Modern Essentials book, it's it is pages long, maybe full of information about essential oils. And the very first chapter of the book said the science and application of essential oils. And I remember looking at that thinking, there's science behind this. And so I just started to read that book. And I read it through. And I remember thinking, okay, if this is real, then I want to, and I'm willing to give this a shot. And then one of my first experiences with Diamond that month, and they told me that their check was $12,000 a month. And I remember just thinking, I mean, they're pretty normal people. I mean, if they can do it, I can probably do this. And first time I met Natalie, she swiped balance oil right on my upper lip. So I just walk up to her. She's like, "Hi," wipes it on my wipe some oil on my upper lip. And that was the first time I smelled balance. And I remember just going, wow, what in the world is that? And anyway, there were a lot of things that kind of, I think that when you decide to do a doTERRA business, that there's 2 elements to it. You have to believe in the product, and you have to believe in the opportunity. And the belief in the product, if you don't have that yet, you may have to trust those around you, because we do have a very high belief in the product. Natalie had an extreme belief in the product, and I remember going to classes and learning from people who had more experience than me and trusting that their experience was right. And then over time, when I started sharing the oils with others, I just did what the book told me to do. I had a sister that had depression, and she called me up and said, I called her, and I said, hey, I think I have something that might be able to help you. My dad developed type 2 diabetes. So I called him up. I said, Dad, I think I can help you. And I just started reaching out to my immediate family members and helping them. And guess what? Everything that we did worked. And that's what you'll notice as well. When you start this, you'll start to see pretty amazing things happen. It's almost like if I were to share with you the most amazing things I've seen, none of you would believe this. You would all think this was a joke. But I can say, just to keep it real believable, I know people that have suffered really bad with different types of allergies, and we've been able to help them. I've been able to help people with all kinds of big and small things. And as you share, you start to realize how real the product is. And I think that's important. But as far as the business goes, as far as believing in the opportunity, one of the things that's super important is that I had a huge advantage. When I started to do doTERRA, I looked at what the opportunity, the earning potential, what that looked like. And then I looked at the overhead. And the company that I'd owned prior to doing doTERRA, my monthly overhead was about $250,000 a month. And we had to figure out how to keep that company going and meeting payroll every 2 weeks and all the pressures and stresses of running a company. And I had gone 1.5 years without taking a paycheck. Sometimes it was, not only was I not taking a paycheck, but I was investing money in a big way. I was taking out home equity lines of credit on my home and investing all of that into the company. I mean, I'd given years and hundreds of thousands of dollars, of time and effort into that company. And so when I looked at doTERRA, I was like, well, what's the overhead? And really the overhead of running a business with doTERRA is your time and your time and your, how would I say, and like what, you buy some oils, some sampling, some books that you can give away for maybe some marketing efforts, maybe some plane tickets, gas in the tank, things like that, your cell phone bill. But really, I mean, even if it's, when I looked at it, I was going, well, even if I'm spending $5,000 a month to build this business, that's nothing compared to what I was doing before. And it never asked that much. I mean, even if my overhead was $1,000 a month, I remember just going, wow, I could build a massive income with that. And so the big advantage that I had was that I treated my doTERRA business like a business from the start. I didn't treat it like a hobby. I didn't treat it like something part-time. I treated it with the same respect that I treated a multi-million-dollar business. And because I treated it with that kind of respect, it paid me like a multi-million-dollar business. And I have a multi-million-dollar organization that's grown all over the world in over 50 countries. I would have never have dreamed that it could do this, except the fact that I treated it with the respect it deserves. Most people who join doTERRA and do the business, they treat it with less respect than a job they would get at McDonald's. If their McDonald's job told them that they had to be there at certain times and leave at certain times, and even if those times were inconvenient to their life and family, they would make it a priority because they would want to keep the job. And what I've noticed in doTERRA, and probably this is the case with most entrepreneurs, is that people would have their life and try to fit doTERRA in around their life, in the cracks and crevices of their life. And if you do that, then doTERRA will pay you like something that you fit in the cracks and crevices of your life. But if you fit your life in around doTERRA the same way that you fit your life in around the job or an opportunity or a business that you own, it will create not just an amazing amount of income, but an amazing lifestyle and freedom that no other company I've ever owned could ever give me. And so I guess my message to you is treat it with respect. If you give this the attention that it deserves and the respect it deserves, it'll pay you more than any other business that you could have run. And the other thing I want to mention to you is that I've owned other businesses before, as I've mentioned. And the most important thing in a business, in my opinion, the most important thing is who your partners are. And who your partners are in doTERRA are the founders of doTERRA. They're your partners. It's as if imagine if you started a business with someone and you said to them, I'm going to be over the marketing efforts. You take care of accounting, payroll, sourcing of product, research and development,
shipping and distribution, customer service, and everything else. But what I will do is I will educate people about the products, and I will mentor and develop leaders in my team. And if I do that, then here's the operating agreement. I'm going to receive this type of commission, and you take care of everything else. And it may be that I make more money than one of the founders of doTERRA. It may be that I make more every month than one of the actual owners of the company, but that's the deal they've made with me. And so while they take care of everything else that it takes to run a company that used to drive me batty, it would keep me up at night and worry me the stress and anxiety that came with trying to meet payroll every 2 weeks and trying to keep companies afloat during hard financial recessions and all those things, that is not your problem. Your opportunity is to create a network of product users by educating them and mentoring them. And then as you do that, your partners will take care of the rest. Oh, and by the way, you also have other partners, but I'll call those mentors. You have people like the Goddards and Amy and others who are around you, mentoring you and supporting you and cheering you on and helping you. And if you make more money than them, fantastic. No one ever gets jealous about the money that you make, because all that it does is serve as a reminder to them that they can make that same amount of money too. And so it is the most superior business model I've ever run into. And that's saying something, because I remember when I owned companies in the past, I could never tell my employees how much I made for fear that they'd get mad, that they would wonder what, I've had that happen. I've had employees go, that SOB is making this much money and I'm here working my butt off in the company. Guess what? I don't know if my partners in doTERRA ever do that. I don't know if they go, my gosh, Seth is making way too much money. But I've never heard anything but gratitude and congratulations from them. I've never heard anything except for encouragement and love from them. And so while they are there making sure the bills are paid, that the research and development continues, the distribution happens, the sourcing of new oils happens, the charitable arm of the organization, Healing Hands, happens, while they make sure while they are doing all that, I have complete and total freedom. And so I guess my message to you is that as you start or consider doing doTERRA as a business, treat it with the same respect that you treat a job, and it'll pay you more than any job could ever give you. The only problem that you're going to face is if you've never owned your own business, is you probably might have an employee mentality, an employee mindset. And that employee mindset says that if I put in this amount of time, I expect this amount of money. And you have to change that. It isn't, when you switch to an entrepreneur mindset, there's no such thing as getting your due because of the time you put in. You get paid by the value you create. So if you create value, then the company will pay you for the value you've created forever. And which is another superior thing. I remember when I owned other companies, everybody would say stuff like, well, we know that you were important in the beginning part of the business. We know that this business wouldn't even be here without you, but what have you done for us lately? And you know what? That never happens. Not with doTERRA. If you put in the time early on, and I took a 2.5 year retirement in doTERRA. When I got to Blue Diamond, I did 2.5 years of taking a very, very, very part-time effort in my business, and I just enjoyed retirement. And at no point did doTERRA come to me and say, you know what? We appreciate what you did in the past, but you're not doing anything now, so we're going to take away from you the value you created. No. You create value, and that value will pay you forever. So if you can get into the mindset of creating value, instead of expecting something for just the time you've put in, then this will pay you more than anything else. And so anyway, I guess that. I don't know if that was what you were all looking for, but that's what I got. I hope that's helpful.
That's just what we're looking for, Seth. And I love that last line, you create value and that value will pay you forever. And
right.
that,
if you can't create value, then this is not the business for you. If you like to get paid for just skating by and not really bringing any value, then you're going to get chewed up and spit out in this. But if you have always brought more value to the table and you feel like you haven't been appreciated, guess what? The terms are set. The compensation plan is set. You're not waiting around for a promotion. You're not hoping that someone quits or gets fired. You're not none of that. If you can create value, you'll get paid forever. And this is why this is, of all the businesses that I've owned, and I've owned multi-million-dollar businesses, I've owned a business that is now a billion-dollar company. Nothing compares to the opportunity that doTERRA gives to anyone for a measly $35 enrollment fee. The difference is that the amount of people who have the discipline and drive to take, and the willingness to treat it with the respect it deserves, are so low that it's shocking. It's one of the things that baffles me, because everybody who gives it the respect it deserves succeeds. Everybody. I have a 21-year-old son who recently returned from a mission. He came to me. His whole life's in front of him. He's got college and all these different things. He's like, Dad, what should I do? And I sat him down. We went through, I gave him different books to read, to determine what he wanted to do with his life. And then after it was all said and done, I said, you know what, Christian? If I were you, I would build doTERRA with me. That's what I would do if I were you. Now, and so that's what he's doing. And he's a business partner with me. And I get to work with my son and help build him and help him create something that will pay him the rest of his life from such a young age. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think of what my life would be like as if doTERRA was introduced to me at 21. And if my dad was, anyway, I can't even fathom it. But my point is that this is how much I know how powerful the opportunity is that I recommend it to my son, and I'm going to recommend it to my daughter, and then my next son and my next daughter. And I'm going to tell them, like, look, you can do a lot of things, but come and work with me and I'll help you build the life of your dreams, because this is so amazing. Anyway, I'm done talking. Thanks, Natalie. Thank you, Amy. I hope this is helpful.
thank you so much, Seth, for sharing your heart and mine. Bless so many. So we've got great. We've been taught by the greats tonight. I'm so grateful for the amazing voices. Boy, how are you all feeling right now? Right? Can you feel Seth's passion, Seth's clarity? I love, being able to hear his experience and glean from that. And you got to hear from Heather and Jared and their experience and what they've created in doTERRA in 4 short months. Amy and Rich and their experience and all they've seen in 9 years. And boy, as Seth was speaking, thank you, Angela. Thank you, Matt and Shantae. And as Seth was speaking, the thought that I kept having was literally, there has never been a better time. Like him going back to the 2008, that him emphasizing that finding your partners is the most important things that you do in any business. So I am more excited than ever. I'm so grateful that you joined us tonight. I'm going to do a little housekeeping and then I'll let Heather close. But to all of you, we hope you had a great time with us. And part of what we wanted to offer and the value we wanted to create for you was just creating a space so that you could step out of your timeline and your world for a moment and get some DoorDash or whatever. So I just posted the link to that form where we're happy to reimburse you for your meal. For those of you, thanks so much for participating in the chat. and showing up. Wow. Just love how you showed up. So that's what we need from you to take care of that part of the bargain. And then Heather, take it away.
Yeah, guys, don't leave yet. Don't jump to that link just yet, because I want to show you. Remember, the two things to what do I do next is to grab an account, and then, you know, we'll start you on training and stuff next week. But can I just share with you, what does that look like? We have some freebies. We have an amazing incentive package for you on here tonight only. And I will tell you, in anything that we do at any time, we've never given away this much stuff, except for at our Dine in doTERRA or Experience doTERRA. So I'm going to show you some of the kit options. So when I say kit, a lot of times you think of maybe other companies, you know, and there's, you know, $1,000 to get in. No, that's not it. As a matter of fact, when you grab a kit, it's products to bring into your house for you to be able to use, for you to be able to show and share, and you get them below wholesale cost when you get it in a kit. So I'm just going to go through a handful of the kits, and you can see, hey, where would this fit most in our, you know, which one would fit most. So this one is called the Healthy Start Kit, and it has got the top 10 oils with the Brevi diffuser. Now these oils are just small trial sample size, like a 5 ml, and normally it's 3 times the size. So if you're like, hey, I like this, let me tell you how it works. When you get an account with doTERRA, it is just like getting a membership to Costco or Sam's Club, where you pay $35, and that $35 gives you access to all the goods. So same thing here, you pay $35 and you get access to all the products at cost for a year. And that is the same price that I get it, right? So, and when I say me, I'm saying me as a working, you know, advocate. So when you get the kit, you're able to actually have the $35 included in the cost. And I know there's not a cost on this page right here. We're going to give those to you at the end in just a second. So this is going to be your top 10. And like I say, let me show you the difference here. If you can see my picture, can you see the difference of the bottle? This is the 5 ml and that's 15. So it is kind of more of your sample starter pack. All right, next is the Healthy Essentials Kit. And this is our favorites for your mind, body, and spirit. You get the bigger bottles, so 3 times the oils. Several in here that help in the mental space with anxiety, depression, stress, and the adaptive copaiba, and then some of your basics that you need for immune support, breathing easy, headaches, balance, lemon for cleaning and detoxing. So a really beautiful range there with the diffuser. And then our next one is the Healthy Habits Kit, and this is your daily wellness plan. So we heard Brittany talk earlier about the Lifelong Vitality Pack. Honestly, this is your foundation of health. This is the trifecta of health, and really, whether you start with it or you add it on next, it's really a place that I highly suggest. So you're going to get those 3 bottles that are going to give you all the health, a couple of the small oils, 5 of the small oils, and then our Deep Blue Rub. A lot of people that know doTERRA know about the Deep Blue Rub for its amazing help with muscles and repair. And then you see the 2 white bottles. Those 2 white bottles, these are going to be gut health. Probiotics for replacing your good bacteria that gets damaged and no longer in your system when you have antibiotics. So we've got, it's the PB Assist, our probiotic, and Terrazyme. Most people do not know that you've got to supplement enzymes. They do not continue to be made in your body after your 20s, and we don't get it in the fruits and vegetables anymore because they're so depleted and we're not eating enough. So this package is going to be your daily wellness plan. The next one, guys, this one is where I started, and this is like Christmas. It's everything you need for a lifestyle shift. So you're going to be able to clean out your medicine cabinet. You're going to be able to clean out some of your personal care and your cleaning products and bring in the natural, safe, therapeutic way to live. And it is fun. It is so fun. And you get the awesome diffuser. So it is called the Natural Solutions Kit. So here they are, all 5, so that you can see them. I want to point out the purple circles. So the purple circles, this is what you're going to save below wholesale. Also, this price includes the $35 membership So it really is the smartest way to get started. If you're like, you know what, like I want to go a whole different route and I want to hand pick the items that I want, you can do that too. You pay your $35 and you can hand pick the items that you want to get started and to get going. I know that this writing is super small of what's in there. Every single one of us that is here can text you guys an image so that you can have this right on your phone so you can look at it a little bit closer. But we do have a couple of freebies for you. We are super grateful to have had you here tonight. We're very grateful. Can I just say thank you to Natalie and Andy? How fun to have DoorDash or Uber Eats come and be fed while you came and listened and was fed good information as well. So we are grateful to them for doing that. But let me show you, I'll come back to this slide and end on this slide. Some of the freebies. This is what you get when you enroll through Tuesday. So first on the far left, you see the keychain. You guys, I've had one of these on my purse for the last 8 years. You got your little carabiner clip and inside are my oils. And I can pull this out. It's my mom medicine cabinet on wheels all the time, ready to go. And you would not believe planes, trains, middle of the nights, out of the grocery store where we've whipped out the oils and everything's just been all better. So you'll get one of those when you enroll by Tuesday. Also, you're going to get a larger zipper bag that holds the full size bottle of oils. I can just pop it right in there. There's a little netted pouch. And you guys, you can fly with your oils just like this. I always have them on my carry-on. Heck no, am I getting on a plane without my arsenal? You know what I'm saying? So you'll get one of the zipper oil bags. And then you are also going to get, this is fun. Remember we talked about the lifelong vitality. doTERRA has a lot of other capsules, soft gels that are internal use amazingness. And the Goddards made this coolest thing. It just makes me happy. This is the pill box, as you can see in the picture, and as I'm holding, it's got these awesome positive words, putting good juju right into that box. And when you open the box, guess what? You're able to put all your different capsules, and they have all the stickers that you can choose to place up here. We can open this box up and share it as people come over. If I need to fly out the door on vacation, because you know, a lot of times I need to fly out the door on vacation, I just grab this whole thing. I don't have to gather up sacks loads of pill bottles, and this makes it easier to take your pills. It just does when you're not having to open up a ton of bottles. So you're gonna get one of those free. And last but not least, I saved this the best for last. I don't know, I love the pill box, but the Essential Life book. We haven't got to talk about this very much tonight, but this is a tool that we could not live without. Literally, we're using it multiple times a day. It is our oil Bible, if you will, but you do not have to know a lot about oils or anything about oils to do this business. If you have this book and you have an oil, you are set. So all you have to do is open right up, and I can look up any ailment and it's gonna tell me the top 5 oils that are suggested. Not only is it gonna tell me what oil I need, it's gonna tell me, do I use it topical, internal, what's the other one? Aromatic, do I dilute it? And then it gives further information and more resources. So we can flip back to the back, and oh my gosh, I landed right on the page for Jared's cold sore recipe of what oils to put together, and all the systems of the body, recipes for food. I mean, it is an amazing, amazing resource. So you're gonna get one of these for free. Just this book is almost 40 bucks. And so this, I don't even know what this package value is, probably around 70-ish, $75, but we're giving it all free to you guys for spending this night with us and when you enroll. So we're giving you till Tuesday if you need to talk and go over it with a spouse or somebody, but otherwise you can definitely connect with the person that invited you tonight, and they will help get you set up immediately so all the goodness can begin. And another freebie. I almost forgot. This is the last freebie. I'm getting exhausted of giving so many things for free. Oh my gosh. So we have something going on right now that many of us are participating in called Diamond Club. It's a super fun, I guess, competition, but just a way for us to grow our teams and really benefit all those who are enrolling. So as you join our team, you're going to be able to offer this to your friends and family as well through June. So when you join and your order is at least 100 PV. Now PV stands for point value. We do everything in doTERRA by points, whether you're earning a trip for free or whether you're getting free oils or whether you're buying, everything is point value. So all the packages that I showed you tonight, all the kits, they are going to qualify you for this Citrus Bliss. Just has to be in by Tuesday, okay? So this Citrus Bliss, real quick, is 5 or 6 different citrus oils, some vanilla bean absolute, and it is like a creamsicle, happy little jar that we use in mental wellness and the diffuser, anything. Everybody loves Citrus Bliss, okay? So the other really great freebie is the adaptive. So this one is great for stress, anxiety, depression. I mean, you put it on and you really feel this calm that comes over you. You can put it in your diffuser and like your whole house is calm. They don't know what's happened, but you've basically drugged them with your adaptive. They are calm, they are collected, and they are loving their life. No, but really, it is one of my top favorites, and that is free along with the Citrus Bliss when you have the 300 point order. So I think that's all the free. Oh my gosh, let's just check. Yes, the joy of sharing oils. It is so fun to see people bring these into their house and say, oh my gosh, my headache went away. Oh my gosh, we used to have this issue with and we don't anymore. It is one of the most gratifying things to see. We've got a family on our team who their son struggles with grand mal seizures. And many of our team has got to hear from them. And that was a situation where I was like, oh my word, can oils help with this? 5 or 6 a day, where it was altering their life in such a dramatic way. Using the oils, he stopped having seizures. Like that, if that was the only reason I did this, like that would be worth it, you know? So I'm gonna back the wagon up to this slide where you can kind of look at this. Oh, I'm going way too far back in the wagon. There it is. Zoom in if you need. And then Natalie, I don't know if we want to do question and answer if anybody's got some questions, but we'll leave it here on this slide. And then the person that invited you is a wealth of knowledge and they can help you get enrolled and answer questions as well.
Love it. Click play on your screen, Heather, and
Yep.
a little bit bigger. Love
All right,
it.
Thank you.
Hey, that was awesome. Thank you for bringing it. And I hope you guys know okay, first of all, that big, those extra incentives to get you started and get you equipped are really incredible. So I hope you recognize the value of that. You know, Seth talked about the value of just being able to start your business at doTERRA with such a low, you know, investment was so huge, but this just helps you get going and have some of the basics that you need. So I love this, and I'm so grateful that we could all offer that tonight. So for those of you that have been on this call, you qualify for this and that Diamond Club special, because we have a couple of people that are involved in Diamond Club. So double bonus tonight. I hope you can take advantage of that. And then we would love to see your questions in the chat or raise your hand and we'll bring you over. This is where we want to bring it home. So no question is a bad question. You know, it could be a question about the product. It could be a question about the business or the opportunity. You choose. We're going to be here. You know, we don't all have lots of other places to go. So this is pretty amazing that we could be here together and have this opportunity. We'd love to take advantage of this time and hit any of your questions now.
Natalie, will you mute me? Because while I'm sharing my screen, I can't mute.
Yeah.
And then just remember to fill out the link that you posted in the chat.
Yeah. I'll repost that too.
Now, until you get a question, I was going to ask this to Seth. Will you maybe just share for people who are feeling like, this is great, I love it, I'm catching the vision, it's just not the right time for me?
Mm-hmm. So you're just saying if somebody feels like that, what should they do? Yeah. So I would say keep using the oils, keep exploring. I loved what Seth said about treating the opportunity with respect. And so that doesn't mean that it has to be the perfect timing, because if you sit around and wait for the perfect timing, would any of us be here? No way, right? We wouldn't be here. Just like you've experienced in life, there is never this perfect time. So just trusting the moment that you're in right now and choosing in. I remember the first night that I went to a class and heard a lot of what you heard tonight. I literally told my husband, I'm going to go for a minute and I'll be right back. And there I was, like, so perplexed, like, what am I going to do? I'm supposed to do this. I'm drawn to this. And just paying attention to how I felt in that moment. And that has changed my life. So I hope you can pay attention to how your heart has felt tonight, what your mind has been drawn to, and some of the things that have opened up for you. And I hope you will choose into that possibility, because it's easy to choose into limitation. That is the world we live in, right? Like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you better limit it to this or that. But the reality is there is infinite possibilities. And I hope you will choose that possibility for yourself. Website fees or a minimum to maintain per month or year. Guys, just hop in. Those of you panelists that want to help answer questions, hop in. So every year there's a $20 renewal fee. And the great thing about that, so that kind of covers your website, anything, you know, with your membership with doTERRA. And I love that doTERRA, they give you back a large peppermint every year when you pay that $20 renewal. And is it 20 or is it 25? Actually, let me be honest, it's 25. Sorry about that. And you get the $20 bottle of peppermint. That's that value when you renew. Perfect time is now. That's right, Nicole. How can you take oils internally? I've talked to aromatherapists and they mentioned to never do that. Why is it safe when there are so many who warn against it? Great question, Sarah. Thanks for bringing that. What is interesting about that? That is antiquated aromatherapy. And so back in the day, that's all we knew. We had a lot lower levels of purity in the field of essential oils overall. And because of that, you know, all aromatherapists and all the teaching about essential oils was you can't take it in your body, that we would recommend that you use the skin as a filter, right? So that it could filter some of the toxins that were in the oils so they didn't get inside of you. Or you could breathe it in and hopefully you would just get the good stuff inside. And as we know now, that's kind of a crazy illusion that, you know, what we put on our skin does make a difference and it does go inside our body. What we breathe in goes inside. So we really upped our game when doTERRA chose to do certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils. And it made it so, you know, the oils can bring those powerful benefits without side effects. So some people in the past might have had mixed experience with essential oils. Maybe they would have felt like they were allergic to essential oils because of the other things that were in essential oils before. The doTERRA essential oils are a whole different game and experience. Heather, maybe stop sharing screen now. And we'll just get some more. Let's see. More questions. Let's see.
Is there the minimum order for each month?
Nope. Minimum order each month. The minimum to get paid all of your commissions is 100 PV. And in the beginning, we thought we'd have a problem with 100 PV. Turns out we love doTERRA products, and we really have to think we use them a lot in our lives. And so you'll find that as well, that you'll just replace things in your world, like your hand soap and your laundry soap, and even your self-care. This is what I use for my perfume, and I just don't spend money on those other things.
Well, Andy's here. Can he put in a plug for my very favorite thing, the Wednesday morning success coaching call?
So every Wednesday morning, we do a live Q&A call. Tiffany Peterson is one of our dear friends. She's been one of our coaches and mentors, and she's helped us develop a lot of our mindset and a lot of the tools that we use that are now Empowered Success. And so as a business coach, we thought, hey, how cool would it be if we offered a form of business mentoring, like sales coaching, to our team. And so 8 years ago, we started doing a call every Wednesday morning, and we've been doing it every Wednesday ever since. So we open up with some inspiring thoughts, 10 or 15 minutes, and then we just open it up to Q&A. So whenever people are feeling blocked, or they've got a question about strategy, or they want to talk about what language to use, in a business conversation or sales, it's really just open-ended Q&A. So go to sharesuccess.com/call to get more information.
I just want to say on the call, it's a really great opportunity to invite people who just to kind of introduce them maybe to our team or the mindset. I listened to the Share Success coaching calls for 9 months before I decided to join a doTERRA business, because I was friends with Andy and Nat, and I just loved everything. And every time they would give advice about the team, I would just use it on my family. That was my team. And it was going really well. And I would text them every week, and I'm like, I love that. That was the best advice. So I have a lot of people who have joined doTERRA where their first exposure, including oils, was getting on the success coaching call, because honestly, you can use that advice on your family, on your business that you already have. doTERRA, it's just a really great entry point for people who are looking to up-level their mindset and their business. So I kind of love it.
Awesome.
Thanks, Angela.
Great reminder.
Hey, Natalie, can I share something real quick on the minimum order? You were sharing the 100 PV, the point value. So if you're a builder, that means you're sharing. That means you're getting commission, and that's not going to come out of your pocket because you're sharing and making money. And so just to keep that in perspective, that you're going to have a lot more than 100 coming in if you're working, right? And cover that.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Wow, such a powerful night. The Wednesday call is 8:30 a.m. Mountain. And you can catch the recording or the podcast as well. So
yep, same web address, sharesuccess.com/call.
Mm-hmm. What other questions before we wrap?
On the call that I love. What's so cool is that you or your friends or whoever is on can get real-time advice free from Andy and Tiffany Peterson. So sometimes I watch the recorded calls on my own schedule when it works, and you can drive in a row and really up-level your life. And it's so awesome that as you start building your doTERRA business, if you're like, hey, I have a question, or I'm not sure how this works, you can actually ask your question to Andy every Wednesday morning and an answer. And every week I learn something new. And I hope, since we're all on the team with the Goddards, I feel like my personal responsibility, or like part of me showing up as a business partner with the Goddards, is this call either live or shortly thereafter. That's kind of part of how I show up for myself. And what's really awesome is every week I learn something. So I love that call. I'm going to be quiet about the call. Sorry.
Hey, great insight. We got a question about, hey, where can you see the recording of tonight's call? So we will post that at sharesuccess.com/VIP. You can find it there. And the Maui trip, we're getting some questions. Is it possible to win this trip if they sign up today? This is a incentive we're doing with some of our little starting legs, and we would, you for sure can create that. So talk to the person that invited you about the details of the Maui trip, and great opportunity. Don't you love being at home? They're with one of our children. Amazing.
Yeah, his name's Dash.
What's a typical turnaround time to getting customers' orders to start to cover the 100 PV requirement? Jessica asks. I would say for us, it was maybe a couple months.
Yeah, if you're leaning into it and sharing actively, and
it could be a week, right? You could pay for it with one class. You could pay for your.
Yeah, because we didn't mention tonight, Natalie, but when you sign somebody up, part of the compensation plan is that you're going to get 20% of everything that they buy for their first 2 months. So if somebody signs up, Jared's my mathematician, and they have a $250 kit, my commission is $50. One enrollment, one kit, $250. I make, and it's paid weekly. So I just made $50, right? So I can back that up and say, I want to make $400 and I want to get $400 a product or whatever, and say, I need to get this many enrollments and they have an average, this kind of a kit. Boom, I've got my money. Does that make sense? So it depends on how hard you work, right? Like if you watch TV and then you do one post on Facebook, it could take a while before you're going to make that, right? But if you just go out and you actively share, you really will be surprised how quickly it comes. I don't know if that's what we've seen, at least, you know?
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Love it. Thank you so much. Thanks for all being with us. So grateful for the opportunity, and hope you take advantage of this unique time to step in and create a different reality, create a new possibility, right? For what you can do in your world and what your family can experience and what many other families can experience. Your courage and choices can totally determine that, can totally shift other people's reality.
Thanks for joining us.
Lots of love.
Thank you, everyone.
Here's the link again for the reimbursement. Good to be with you all. Catch you again on the next experience.
Thanks.